Say it with me. Football is back, and I don't care tonight what it looks like. I have no caring. It is Hall of Fame game tonight, live from Canton, Ohio. Welcome to the National Football Motherfucking League. How you doing? That's what I'm talking about. Lions and Chargers. I don't care Trey Lance is starting for the Chargers. I do not care. Most of these guys will be working over at Philly International. I don't care. Anything is better than what is on the set right now. I am ready to go. Hall of Fame, the class, Antonio Gates, yes. Jared Allen, okay. Eric Allen, spectacular. Sterling Sharp, I don't know. Okay, that's how I feel about him. Jared Allen and Fletcher Cox. I know two different positions. One's a pass rusher. The other guy is an interior tackle. Boy, was Jared Allen the most dominant player at his position during his time in the league. Was Fletcher Cox one of the most gifted defensive tackles in the league? I mean, I look at both those guys, and I look at this, and I say this about Jared. I think Jared Allen's a heck of a ball player. Okay? I do. 5-time Pro Bowler. 2-time NFL sack leader. In the Ring of Honor up in Minnesota with the Vikings. I don't know. Sounds like the same accolades to me that Fletcher Cox got. Once again, I get it's two different positions, so don't go down that lane with me. I get it. But wasn't it Fletcher Cox, Ndamukong Suh, and Aaron Donald? Weren't those the three prominent guys? I don't think Jared Allen is better than Leslie O'Neal. I think Leslie O'Neal's a better ball player. If you look at the numbers, Leslie O'Neal was a better ball player. I don't know. Say whatever you will. Allen was a beast. He has 136 sacks. That's what you're saying to me. All right. Let me take a look and see what my boy Leslie O'Neal. By the way, I don't even know what Leslie has. Leslie O'Neal. See what he had in sacks. How many Pro Bowls? So that guy was a 5-time Pro Bowler. Leslie O'Neal was a 6-time Pro Bowler. Leslie O'Neal's got 132 sacks. So I guess he's a beast too, right? He had 2 more sacks. So Leslie O'Neal's a beast too, right? Okay. Would you call a game with Mike Miss for $1 billion? Yes. I'd do anything for $1 billion. You'd be shocked. Hey, dude, I don't hate the guy. The guy hates me. I really never met him. He's written books about me. Remember that, Lamar. I've never met the guy face to face. He's been on my program. He's agreed to come on the show. I've never gone on a show with his. I'm not sure I would have ever. I never went out with Bill Colarulo. I didn't really want to do that, and I never did. So, I mean, I don't do that. I do very few things. I pick and choose what I want to do now. I don't do that. He's been on my show numerous times. Mike Miss. Believe me, if I had started my broadcasting career in Philly, there wouldn't have been any name bigger than mine in that city. If I had done radio there, I'm already with one of the better shows. I mean, that didn't take long. Are you kidding me? Angelo and Howard. And then I guess this dude, right? Anthony, maybe? Anthony's terrible. I mean, I've listened to that shit. Dude, the guy that I like Farzetta more. I like Mark Farzetta more. I do. I think Farzi's good. All right. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button here. Oh, yes. So here's our topics today. Who won the day? The offense is struggling. What? Why would they be struggling? Day 6 of training camp. Okay. Little bit on Jared Goff. I got a comment for you I want to throw at you guys here in a minute. And future Hall of Famers. Yes, Lane Johnson's on that list. Appreciate you guys. Do me a favor. Please hit that like button. Boom, like that, man. Just hit that baby like that. Also, super chats go to the top, and we appreciate it. So, let me get this right before we get into the topics. The offense and the quarterback, once again, how would I put it? Not in sync. Not having continuity. Okay. What else? And what was the words that I wrote down? Because I was taking notes from my friend. What was that? With the offense struggling, what were the notes that I took down? They were talking about situational football. And they were talking about situational football, which was not really good and well planned out today. And there were turnovers. And there's been turnovers in camp. Now, get this. Why would that be? Experimental stage. Bud, what would they be experimenting on? That they wouldn't be in sync and they're turning the ball over. What do you think they're working on? What could they be working on? Because I'm going to get somewhere here. Expanding the offense. To what extent? What are you talking about? Oh, Bud, passing. Okay. Passing. Middle of the field. Well, this isn't true because the coordinator came on last week and said, we're streamlining. They're streamlining it. Passing concepts. Okay. Passing concepts. What else? Oh, here's another one. They're playing in an 11 personnel, according to Senior. So they're passing more. They're in 11 personnel more. They're not fluent, and they're overthrowing passes, and they're not on the same page. Okay. New passing game. So you're saying they're struggling in camp in the passing game. Is that what you're saying? If I read what you guys are saying here, they're struggling in the passing game, which is something they didn't do a year ago, right? Is that what you're saying? This is your words. This is your words. I'm asking you. You're the one saying this. Passing concepts. There have been an 11, according to Senior, 11 personnel. And they're working on the passing game. Yet they're turning the ball over, and situational play calling has kind of been an issue or a focus in camp. Is that it? Working on the passing game, and it's not going so hot. Is that right? Not too worried. They'll be okay. Well, the passing game wasn't a year ago. I'm just asking. We're going to get into day 6 of what eyewitnesses watched there. Got a guy who gave me a couple cliff notes here, and we're going to look at it here in a minute. And we're going to see if you guys are right. Passing game. You know who won the day today? Jihad Campbell again, baby. Jihad Campbell. We'll get into that here in a minute. So let's go to day 6. And let's take a look at this. So this is day 6. Mostly, really, this comment and these comments are mostly about Jalen Hurts. 2 areas of the football team that they really had an emphasis on a year ago, especially late in the year, was situational football. And also not turning the ball over. They were exceptional at that. Well, that's not been the case. Today, Hurts and the offense struggled once again in both of those areas, turning the ball over and situational play calling. Gee, you're like fucking Shohei Ohtani over here. I am like Shohei Ohtani. Man, I'm hitting like 758 right now. And it's insane. I'm hitting like 758. 42 bombs and 115 RBIs, and I still got 2 months to go. Shit, I'm knocking it out of the ballpark. Fucking insane. I'm like Nostradamus. Big Sills. Big Sills Adamus. That's what we're doing again here, man. Big Sills Adamus. Okay? Hurts threw his second interception of the camp. By the way, people out there were like, what's going on out here, man? I mean, hey, passes were sailing. I mean, right into the hand. Eli Ricks looked like a superstar today. Eli Ricks looked like a superstar today. He was fucking on fire, that Eli Ricks. I mean, woo, right into the hands of Eli Ricks, sitting out there playing center field. I mean, they were actually competing against one another too. So, gee, I wonder what's going on with the offense. Hence, whoa, what is going on? Okay. After the interception, Hurts and the first team offense went back onto the field in the same situation. And get this, they struggled again. What is going on? Oh, they're working on the passing game. Huh. Shit, they know what they have. They know what they have in the run game. What do they have in the passing game? What could possibly be wrong with the continuity and the situational play calling of Kevin Patullo? Hurts' first throw was a lofted pass off his back foot towards the end of the end zone and was thrown too far ahead of Dotson down in red zone. After a short completion to Brown and a spiked ball to kill the clock, Hurts was sacked. He was sacked on 4th down to end the drill. The defense won again. Holy shit. Spikes the ball. He gets sacked on 4th down. This was a scrimmage type drill. Okay? Hey, look, I'm not saying concern. I'm saying focus. I'm using the word focus. I'm not, hey, Sue, you fucking relax. I'm not fucking panicking. I'm just telling you what's going on out there. Don't get pissy with me because your boyfriend out there's they're working on the passing game. Like you said, new concepts, situational play calling. Don't get mad at the deliverer. See, now I know why everybody got mad at Moses. Okay? I mean, come on now. It's either Bobo Patullo or Ramen Noodle Hurts. Holy cow. Man, Okay? Let me see here. We go here again. Defensive line was very good again. They really like what they're seeing in Moro Jomo. Moro Jomo is one of those guys that's opening up people's eyes. Moro Jomo's having a really good camp, and so is Jeremiah Trotter. Those guys are having a great camp. Good. Sills is mad that his take on the Eagles' defense being bad is looking... No, it's not. Are you trying to tell me you think you're fucking ready to rock and roll in the NFL with Keely Ringo against CeeDee Lamb? Good luck. I hope it works, man. I can't wait to see it. I don't believe it. I want to see that. Hey, by the way, Drew, you come back here on Friday, September 5th and go, you're fucking wrong. You had a great game on CeeDee, all right? Let's do that. CeeDee Lamb versus Keely Nobody. All right. The guy in Dallas, we'll see what happens. I want to see you first shut down Pickens if you can't get a pass rush. By the way, and I think the Cowboys suck. I think the Cowboys blow. I don't think they're going anywhere. But they're going to move the ball in the air. And that might just be enough. Okay? What else here? Linebackers are having a really good camp. The linebacker drills are really going well, and they're really doing a great job in making their reads and their fits, and there's no doubt. By the way, Nakobe Dean is he's rehabbing. Looks pretty good out there. People are saying that, you know what, he's coming along. 2 big situational drills and 2 losses by the offense was not a good look to end the day for Hartz. Get this. Like I said, it wasn't the fact that they threw a shitload of passes in this game. It was more the point that they didn't really throw a lot, and they looked terrible doing it. How you doing, man? What's going on here? Holy shit. What is going on with the offense? Day 6, defense wins again. And by the way, it looks like they're pulling further ahead of the stalled Eagle offense. What's going on? Are you going to have to resort back to what you did a year ago? Because the passing game, once again, is struggling in camp. Now, most of you will go like this. Hey, I'm not concerned. Why would you be? You can always rely on that run game. That's the beauty of the Eagles. You don't have to rely on Hurts. You can rely on the run game. That's right. Not a problem. By the way, the player spoke too. We'll do that a little bit here. Man, day 6. Oh, just a little note here also. Big Sills was told a little birdie, safety position is wide open. He goes, you hear Vic the other day? I go, yeah. He's like, well, when he's going into Nakuba the way he was, Makuba's injury has opened up a rotation of Tristan McCullum, Sidney Brown, Andrew Makuba. One of those guys, obviously, or someone out of the building will win that job. Right now, nobody has a lead on it. Nobody has a lead. As of today, that's an open competition with 3 dudes right now neck and neck. Could be Brown, could be McCullum, and it could be Makuba. Highly doubtful it will be Makuba. When Vic goes into a guy for not being on the field, and the way he did, open competition. The Eagles want Andrew Makuba to win that job. Okay? It's open competition. It's open competition. Here, so Prince can hear. It's open competition at safety. In case you didn't hear it. Open competition at safety. Nobody has the lead in the tent right now. Okay? Oh, no, Kim. No. Christopher. They wanted Makuba at the beginning of training camp to have that job, just like they did with Q a year ago. No. Nice job, kid. At F. F. How you doing? By the way, that corner spot, somebody better show something on a consistent basis. Or there's going to be a guy over there that you never seen before. Vic's a little bit, what was the word you guys used? What was the word? And I echoed that word. What was that word that you guys used yesterday? Annoyed. I said, how annoyed are you guys? He goes, it's just, the starting of scratch again and trying to figure out the pieces to the puzzle here again. That's kind of what it is. You don't have to figure shit out on offense if you're a coordinator. You just got to figure out how to get Hurts better in the passing game and how to get the passing game better without turning. The key is right now going on with the Eagle offense. You got to figure out how to have higher volume passing without Hurts turning the ball over. You got to figure that out. And you've not been able to figure that out yet. Do you understand that's the problem? It's not that he's bad. Baker Mayfield turns the ball over too much. He had 16 picks last year, 4,500 yards passing and 40 touchdowns with 16 fucking turnovers is ridiculous. I'd rather have 3,200 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, and 6 turnovers than that fucking other number. That number is it's a slanted number. The turnovers are what kill you. The touchdown passes keep you in games. Turnovers end games. Okay? The number one thing that Philadelphia and the passing game has to figure out is how much they can improve. Here's what I'm being told. You can take it for whatever you want. The offensive ideology in camp right now is figuring out how to increase the volume of passes by playing 11 personnel without having turnovers. And so far in camp, they haven't figured that out yet. Now, is it a worry? No. But it's what they're focusing on. Use your fucking eyeballs. That's not an opinion. That's what they're doing. Okay? By the way, your defense is where it is because the Eagle offense are doing things and working on things they're not great at. And this guy's going to take a lap going, well, the defense is that. But you're not shutting fucking A.J. Brown down. Saquon Barkley. This guy's retarded. You think that those guys back there are shutting those guys down. The Eagle offense is shutting itself down by situational play calling, you dick. Are you fucking nuts? Are you really thinking you're that good? Give me a break. Right. The defensive ends are hammering Mulata in lane. How dumb can you be to think that Keely Ringo is being locked down and locking down A.J. Brown? Really? When Patrick Surtain and players like that across the league can. But Keely Ringo is doing that. Give me a break. You're high on your own team. You got to be out of your mind to think that. I mean, really. Only an asshole like M. Reyes would think that. Are you crazy? Come on now. Hit that like button there. How you doing? That's right. That's the biggest question mark right now. Okay? Here's the biggest question mark. Let's write this down. And I will be asking this question to all. How? How? H-O-W for guys like M. Reyes. How will WILL, the Eagles' offense, increase the volume of passing without turning the ball over? Did I say it slow enough? I know some of you, it's a little difficult to stay on pace. Not many people can stay on pace with Big Sills. Okay? Stay on planet Earth. Let's see what Texas boy has to say here. Eagle defense is not good. How is it good with a suspect secondary? I want to know, Eagle fans. It's not a suspect secondary. Suspect means you don't have talent. Inexperienced. That's what that means. I never said they're not good. You're the one. How the fuck would you know they're not good, dude? Was that your magic wand? You want to know not good? Look at your defense. That's not good. Hey, Texas boy, do me a favor. I'm going to mail you 17 cinder blocks when you play the Eagles. Make sure you put all 16 of those cinder blocks. Make sure you use them for your defensive line so you can anchor down as they uproot you out of the ground on September 4th. Do me a favor, okay, brother? You're going to need all 16 cement blocks when the granite guys from Pennsylvania, known as the offensive line in Philadelphia, uproot you. Those cinder blocks will be needed because you won't be able to take it. You'll swear to you, man. You think you're like Michael Phelps doing the backstroke. Hey, guys, here's Mozzie Smith versus Landon Dickerson. What are you doing? I'm doing the backstroke. Fucking backstroke. Yeah. I mean, Mozzie Smith should be a surfer. Get on the surfboard and let the wave take you wherever. Let Landon take you wherever you want. He sucks so bad. Let me see. Have the Eagles ever had a guy suck that bad? That would Mike Mamula. Hey, guys, Mozzie Smith and Mike Mamula should play on the same team. Those two guys belong with one another. I think Mike Mamula was actually better. Backstroke Mozzie. I'll take Mike Mamula over Lazy Smith any day. How you doing, Lazy Smith? Nice first-round pick. The guy's garbage. Yeah, but I'll tell you, man, he could be the next Reggie White. Hey, Redneck, highly doubtful. I mean, remember Jerry Jones? He gonna be the next Reggie White. I'm telling you. If the cat milk gets out of the jar, make sure you put the thing back in there. And the Mississippi said no. And we're going to kiss that ass and make sure you're on a stripper pole on a hot summer day because you come sliding down and you know what's up at the end. You're going to get cut if you don't show up in the heat. What the fuck are you talking about? Look at this guy. Who's Mozzie? Yeah, me too. I'm with you. I don't know who he is. Who's Mozzie? I don't know. I never heard of him. Been watching some old football from last year's Cardinals. Might be the most underachieving team with all that talent. They got to win too, man. Kyler Murray's got to finally show he can play. Okay? Prince is right. Both those Cowboy DTs, man. Dude, you're going to think, hey, Texas boy, you're going to think seriously that you're over at IHOP. Hey, man, can I get the 3 stacks of pancakes? What are they called? The Lane Johnsons? Yeah, give me the Lane Johnsons and the Jordan Malatas. I'll take the Jordan Malata. Nah, give me the Malata. I get extra syrup with the Malata. Give me the Malata. You flip your pancakes over, make sure butter's in between the two of them. That's right. You got the IHOP special, like Yale says, the Mulata special, baby. Shit. Texas boys trying to talk about the Eagles. Start with the O-line guy. Their secondary may be your eye suspect. I think it's just inexperienced. Hey, Texas boy, come on now. This rough room here. Maybe if I talk like this, son, you'll be able to get the shit kickers back in here. Oh, me. I talk to me like Jerry Jones. You see my cousin? Ain't she hot? I mean, hell. You see my cousin, Missy Lou? Missy Lou? Holy shit, my cousin's awful good looking. Damn. Holy cow. Them legs look as long as a Georgia pine. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know. Hey, man. I don't know. I mean, right? I don't know why I'm starting to do it. Every time I talk Cowboys, I gotta talk like I guess it's like an imbecile or something. Okay? Look at this guy. Come on, please hurt my feelings. I beg you to. Imagine talking like the people from Texas don't sound like that. I mean, they don't sound like that. I lived in Texas, douchebag. I know. I'm talking Jura. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jura. Come on, kid. Don't be so sensitive either. What do you work for, ESPN? Hey, that whole thing, by the way, before we continue, ESPN, man. So you got a hot chick in jeans, and that's supposed to be she's a racist. Okay. Dude, you talk about not having your man card. Then again, what would ESPN know about the man card when they support dudes with cannolis and chick sports? It's one for the par, isn't it? It's par for the course, right? I mean, they get this. So ESPN, they're ripping a chick who's in a denim jeans commercial, correct? She looks pretty hot in it. And what you get is like ESPN dudes going, that is simply disgusting, and it's so racist. I'm like, okay, well, you've never really seen the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue then. And so I think you and me, hey, dude, are you a Bud Light beer drinker? I think they promote Bud Light drinking at ESPN or something. So you're going to rip a chick in denim jeans and call that fascism or racism, and you're going to support a dude with a cannoli in his pants in women's sports. Yeah, I'm going to hang with the chick with the denims. Okay? Sydney Sweeney. She's an SS officer because she wears denims, according to ESPN. I'm like this. Damn. That chick's great looking in them denims. And then this guy's over here going, you know, Liam, over at UPenn, it's a disgrace, Liam Thomas. He is the Arthur Ashe thing of the year. Holy cow. Dude, wonder why ESPN is so confused. There's no way they can identify what a man or a woman is. There's not a chance. Hey, and then get this. They blow out Shannon Sharp because he was getting the shit kicked out of him by a chick in a motel or a hotel every Wednesday night. They would dress up like freak shows or something. And I guess they would beat the shit out of one another. And they called that sex. I mean, that's a lot to go a long way for something I think is a little easier than that. Do I have to get my ass kicked to have sex? Damn shit. And it cost them $23 million. That thing cost him $23 million to get his ass kicked by a chick. She's hot. I get it. I mean, I don't know. There's something sexy about that. But shit. Calcium cannon cells. Massive ones. I'm a huge proponent of implants. Thank you. Leon, I'm sorry, but yes, I'm on the board of directors of dudes who like chicks with implants. Yes, I have to come clean on that. I've been on the board for about 42 years. So, Leon, I'm guilty. I've been on the board of directors for a long time on that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, yes, I have to admit it. Okay, I'm a big proponent. Okay, there's nothing sexy about forfeiting $23 million to get your ass beat by a chick like a weirdo. I get it. I'm like, you got. I mean, surely there's something in there. I mean, $23 million. Why do you buy a yacht, have sex on the yacht like Jalen was out in the Mediterranean with MJ, having a great time drinking and having fun times, relationship reportedly is getting even better. Shannon showing up at the Waldorf Astoria, getting his ass kicked every Wednesday, spending $23 million in a settlement so she doesn't open her pie hole. Hey, very ESPN-like. Holy cow. Man. Holy cow. Yeah, Leon, Xander's right. Whatever you do, dude, I know you're going through some things right now. Getting your ass kicked by a really hot chick. It does. There's some components to that I feel you on. But at the end of the day, I don't want anybody touching the bear unless the bear tells you it's all good. So, hey, I listen. I know you're vulnerable right now. Listen, I'm not going to try to act like Big Sills Ruth, but I'm going to hook you up here. Don't go down that lane, dude. Once a chick gets her dirty hands on you and starts kicking the shit out of you, you'll be working for her, bro. You'll be at the Walmart. You'll be over at the Beth Bad and Beyond working 14 jobs just to make her feel good. Can't have it, hon. No way. I'm feeling for you. That honey, man. No. Okay? Bud Light went from the king of beers to the king of weirdos. Boy, I know. This beer is for me. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't know. Anybody who sways, this beer is for me. No, that's not me. I'll tell you that. I won't be drinking that. I mean, holy shit. Shannon Sharpe got his ass kicked for $23 million. And then ESPN, believe it or not, very Bob Igerish. Don't you agree? Shit, man. We got to let him go. I mean, do you know what you did for Pat McAfee? Do you know how strong you made Pat McAfee now? You made him even bigger at ESPN. They hate him fucking more because they wanted Shannon Sharpe to be the minority version of Pat McAfee so they can have both guys. Stephen A. Smith, I really, his act is like as tired as Skip Bayless's act. Those two dudes, I'll tell you what, Shannon's not going to die because he's got a great YouTube channel. But boy, I'll tell you, man, Pat McAfee now is even bigger at ESPN. How you doing? That means more moolah. That means a lot more cash for Pat. And now they can't get rid of him. He's the most powerful guy over there. Because if he left and went somewhere else, Dave Portnoy's not in his room. Barstew's okay. McAfee is a machine. He's a machine. Hit the like button. Big Sills and you here on a football Thursday. Damn. A football Thursday. All right. Some of the players, they performed at the mic today. Who won the day? Let me get a couple names here for you. Who won the day? Wasn't Hurts. 6 of 11. Let me go over to the WIP thing here. Let me get the ESP grading. 6 of 11. 0 touchdowns. 1 INT. Hurts had a D+. Wow! A D+? Hurts had a D+? Get the hell out of town. Hurts had a D+. D+. Wait a minute here. He had a D+. And what did you guys say? Let me go here. They were working on passing concepts. Sills, they've been in 11 personnel most of the camp. Okay? What else was the other one? They're trying to evolve the passing game. Okay? Yeah. So they're working on the passing and they're struggling. Is that right? Interesting. I'm going to write it down again. Not a worry. Just a focus. 2 days in a row we've been saying this. Zero concerns. They're working on the passing game. That's why it sucks. I get it. You're working on the passing game, and that's why it sucks, right? Say it with me. You're working on the passing game, and that's why it sucks, right? No. Well, the passing game did suck. Say it with me. The passing game and camp and the offense are working on passing, and that's why the offense has sucked. Say it with me. You can't, can you? You can't say it. You refuse to say it, right? Okay? Who gives a fuck about 22? I'm talking about today, kid. Okay? Well, not so far. And it wasn't elite last year. Your run game was. So your passing game right now in camp. The reason why it's not doing very well is because why? They're trying things. 11 personnel. More concepts. Right? Okay. Offense struggling. Let's see. Offense, 4 days now. The Eagle offense passing game has struggled in camp. What was the other thing I said? Trying to up the volume of passes and limiting the turnovers. 4 days now, they've not had a good passing camp. Is that fair? I said your passing game was not elite. Nobody said that your run game wasn't. You don't want to hear what I'm saying. Okay? Hey, I'm just going by what you guys are saying to me today. We're working on throwing the ball, and they're turning the football over. And they're turning the football over more. Is that right? Okay. I just want to be clear here. Does the passing game need to be elite? Well, let's ask that question. If you've got Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, do you think so? That's a great question. Does the passing game have to be elite? I love that question. You've got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, 2 first-round picks. 2 first-round picks, $51 million, and a $50 million quarterback. Do you think the offense has to be elite? Yes or no? Okay? Do you believe this? Yes or no? It could be It can be. It doesn't have to be. No, they proved it last year. Like I said, they didn't prove it last year. They did it in one football game. I'm not talking about that. You tell me. You tell me. Does it have to be elite with those players on it? Does it have to be? So you tell me. Does it have to be? So all that talent, it does not, it has to be what? Hey, Maniac, what does it have to be? Decent? Good? Efficient? What? Hurts has only been able to throw the go, the slant, and the button hook. And as long as we can cover up this weakness with Barkley, we're straight. Okay? So you're going to go back to running the ball. So this is what Jimbo's saying. Jimbo's saying efficient with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and with Jalen Hurts. Adequate, says Akbar. So adequate. What does adequate mean? What they did a year ago? By the way, if they're working on it, they're concerned about it. No? How about this? I'm going to use your guys' opinions here. And I'm going to use your guys' comments that you've made to me all offseason. If they're working on it, are they concerned about it? It has not been good. If they're working on it, this hasn't been, they're concerned about it. Either concerned or what? They're focused on it? Use a word. Once again, this guy doesn't understand the Philadelphia Eagles. You make the football team in practice. You make the football team in evaluations. Because they don't play the exhibition season. Where the fuck else are you going to get an evaluation from? The organized team scrimmages and what you do in practice. You don't have game tape to evaluate players. They may play some of these kids, but they're not playing all of them. Just by go with the history of what they've done. So you tell me. This guy here doesn't get it. You make the football team and you get elevated in the depth chart based on what? What you do in practice with Vic and with Kevin Patullo. Case closed. Okay? Now look, you can't sit here and tell me that if they are working completely and almost exclusively on the passing game so far, that the reason that they're struggling and not looking, I guarantee you, when John McMullen goes on that show today, he's going to echo the same shit he saw at practice. What I'm telling you right now was what happened. You're not buying it, huh? Well, John will tell you later, too. Passing game is elite when it needs to be. Well, how come it's not now and you got an inexperienced defense kicking the shit out of it? You got an inexperienced defense kicking the shit out of you. How's that possible with that talent? They're not that good on defense. Unless you're under the impression that A.J. Brown's getting shut down by Keely Ringo and that Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson are getting taken to the woodshed. Now, when they have to run the ball, Barkley's almost a non-factor. So I'm assuming then that they're shutting down all of those players on offense. So hey, get this. Either your offense is struggling or you think your defense is great or you think the defense sucks. Which is it? Pick one. I'm here for it. I'll take any one you want. Pick one. Go ahead, pick one. James, they can't. Okay, the defense is amazing. An inexperienced defense is shutting down A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, according to RC3. And Jalen Hurts is turning the football over in camp because they're throwing the ball more because the defense is amazing. Interesting. Okay. Whoa, wait a minute. Iron sharpens iron. Look at this guy. He's under the impression that Keely Ringo is sharpening A.J. Brown. Is that what you're saying, Arthur? Wow, Keely Ringo must be an all-pro. He's shutting down A.J. Brown. Okay. Time to trade A.J. Brown if Keely Ringo's shutting his ass down. Time to trade that guy. Holy shit. See, this is what you're called a pickle. You're in a pickle here. If you say your defense is great in only like 10 days and 5 days of practice, 6 days of practice, and your offense is getting shut down completely, and turnovers and fumbles and what have you, and not looking good. Okay, and you're working on the passing game. I'm trying to figure which one it is. Which is it? I'm awfully confused. Oh, my God. Vic's talking shit on his safeties. And that same group is having a good day against the offense. Vic's telling you there's an open competition because of Kuba's injury, and it's wide open for anyone that wants to win it. Get this. What makes the defense inexperienced? Ringo's never started. Jahad Campbell's never started. Moro Jomo's never started. Trotter's never started. And whoever plays safety for you will never start either. You fucking pick one, Prince. You pick one. It's a great take. It's only July 31st. You're right. They've only been in camp 10 days. Absolutely. Only been in camp 10 days. Like I said, it's not a worry. I'm just telling you it's a focus. Shouldn't get everybody a little bit upset here. That's all. Just a little focus. Defense is great. So then you believe that Mulata and Lane are getting their ass kicked in practice and pass sets. And that Keely Ringo's shutting down A.J. Brown then. And shutting down the offense. Is that right? Is that what you think, Joseph? That they're stymieing the great offense? Wow. How in the world could that offense be ahead or behind so far now to a defense that has 5 new starters? Could it be the situational play calling that was a concern today? Situational play calling, and guess what? Turnovers are so far the focus in the first 10 days of practice. Hurts has been an elite thrower. It's not a shock he's struggling with concepts right now. That is not an elite passing game. That was an elite moment in the passing game in the Super Bowl. Not an elite passing game. Like you thought you were elite in the Ram game? Or some of those other games where it was like a non-factor? We're a run-first team. I know. The formula for the Eagles is to run the ball. I know. I'm not disputing that. That sets up our pass game. Okay. Yeah. So far, so good. It's not a traditional passer. And Hurts is not a traditional passer. So, yeah, it's going to look inconsistent. I don't mind that take. I agree. Not a traditional passing game. He's not a traditional passer. So it's going to look inconsistent at times. Okay. Yeah. As long as we know what we're talking about here. Yeah. Maniac, you're awesome to me, man. Thank you. You never sent that link to me. Cooking and listening to Big Sills pissing off 80% of the people in here. Love it. My man. My man. My man, Fishing Maniac, who's been here since day one. How you doing? Now, what's this? What's this, Maniac? What's M. Reyes? Just ask Burrow and Herbert, and the worst offender, Josh Allen. Those guys got to do more, dude. They can't play bad every week. They can't be working on passing concepts. They are the team. You understand something? Burrow, Herbert, and Allen are Barkley and Hurts in one. Hurts has to just be Hurts. He don't have to carry the team. Those guys do. They have to carry the team. Jalen Hurts does not. And you're like, I'm not penalizing anybody. You asked the difference. There's the difference. Different ways for different teams, different setups. And you see, the easy thing is to go excuses. It's not an excuse. So let me get this right, M. Reyes. Do you believe in the NFL that there's better organizations than others? Yes or no? Like, do you think the Jets and the Eagles are on the same page organizationally? Yes or no? Do you think the Jets and the Eagles are as good an organization as one another? Do you? No real benchmark without a joint practice. Controlled scrimmage? Okay. M. Reyes, okay, so M. Reyes just told you the Jets are not as good an organization as the Eagles. Well, let me make it smarter for you because this guy doesn't. Folks, if I put Josh Allen on the Jets, would they win 12, 13 games with the talent they have there? Yes. They'd win 12, 13 games in the AFC East. With the running back and the wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, they just gave $35 million to, he'd win 12, 13 ball games there. Jets can't get the quarterback right. Jets can't get the head coach right. Jets can't get the general manager right. Okay? Well, here, M. Reyes says no. So if I took Josh Allen off that team and put Justin Fields on that team, you think they win 13 games? Or wait, I'll take Justin Fields and take Josh Allen off the Buffalo Bills. You think they win 13, 14 games? And he's the MVP? Of course not. This guy's trying to tell you that's an excuse. It's not. It's a reality. Some guys are in better situations, better organizations. That's what it is. Those aren't excuses. That's a reality. Let me ask you this. If you're at Google and you're at some startup engine place, search engine place, who do you think is going to have more resources to do more? Google or this new startup? Google. It works in business. It works in sports. They're not excuses. It's a reality. Get this. He sucks at carrying a team. They wouldn't win fucking 7 games without him. I mean, you don't want to hear it Because here's what you do. You see this here, Coyote? You know what they do? They downplay the other guys to try to elevate their guy when their guy's not in those people's league. But he doesn't have to be. That's why they're working on throwing the ball. This conversation's not really a rip. They're working on Jalen's worst part of his game. But better yet, I'll take that back. They're working on the offense's worst showing of a year ago, which is throwing the ball. Your guys are you're working on it. And you've turned the ball over and you've been inconsistent in the passing game the first 10 games. What's the problem here? You're working on something they want to get better at. By the way, this is not a fucking debate. You're working on it. You're turning the ball over. It's not a debate. The only people that don't want to hear it are you. That's what's happening in practice. I'm not debating anything here. Who's debating? Debating what? What went on? 7 wins or 14 wins. Allen ends in Cancun every year. No shit. Absolutely. They just, in my opinion, they don't have enough talent around that guy yet. Organization, and I hate the coach. Got to be better. Completely agree. Josh Allen looks scared to death. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he did. So once again, like I said a year ago, that guy played great for 17 consecutive weeks to win the Most Valuable Player award. Jalen Hurts played great 1 week in that Super Bowl, and he won the MVP in the Super Bowl. It's 10 times more difficult to win the regular season MVP than it is to win a Super Bowl MVP. Your career is not going to be based off of what you did by winning that Super Bowl MVP. That's ridiculous. That's like saying Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl Hall of Fame type player because he won an MVP award. That's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. By the way, that is a debate that I'm not having. So again, let's circle back to the truth. Okay? They've been working so far. Vic said it in his press conference. They've been working almost exclusively out of 11 personnel. Did you guys hear that? How many people heard that? We haven't had a chance to get in the base. How many people heard that? Anybody hear that? Jimbo, you heard that. Vic said, we really can't get in the base because they're throwing the ball all over the place. Okay. So 11 personnel almost the entire first 10 days of practice, right? And they've turned the ball over and they've struggled throwing it. And the defense has been far ahead. Get this. Here. I'm not making listen what this guy's trying to imply. Why are they making such a big deal about something they are clearly working on? If you're not trying to push the narrative, then what's the point of this conversation? I'm telling you that the number one question mark so far, in my opinion, and here's the conversation. It's not so much that they're struggling. They're trying to figure out how high they can go in volume of passing without sacrificing too many turnovers. Do you understand? This is about what kind of volume will they be able to increase the passing once you implement the running game. They have not run the ball at all in training camp for a reason. You know why? They're saving Barkley. They don't need to run the ball in camp. They're not even remotely close to running the ball. And will they at all with him in camp? They do not need Barkley. What does Barkley have to prove in training camp? Do you understand something too? Get this. How many people think the defense is kicking the shit out of the offense right now? How many people believe that the defense is kicking the shit right now out of the offense? And why is that? Why is that? Does anybody know? Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo. Why do you think it is? Okay. This guy says I'll make this up. So I'll use Spike as this, saying that I made this up. When there's nothing made up here. Folks, do you think the defense is playing well right now because the defense doesn't have to account for the run? If I'm a defensive player and I know you're not going to run the ball, I'm not going to be concerned about running the ball. I'm going to pin my ears and just pass rush. Do you not think that plays into it? They've been in 11 personnel 95% of the time. When you're a defensive football player and you don't have to defend the run and you know they're not going to run the ball, that defeats almost the entire process of having to determine whether or not I have to read my keys. All I have to do is pin my ears and I have to rush the passer. I know there's no running game. They're not going to run the ball. And if they do run the ball, they're going to run the ball with someone else like Shipley. They're not going to run it with Barkley. Why would they? I wouldn't. Here's Prince Sills. You just answered the question. You should have started with that. People are upset because of how you phrased it. Hence why I asked. I started my entire show that way. I never said that I was worried. I said it's a focus. And I said that comment that I said 4 different times, that they're trying to figure out how high they can go in volume of passing before the concerns of turnover start to hit. And that'll look better when they can run. Hey, let me ask you this, guys. And Prince, you answer this too. Do you think the passing game becomes a little more difficult when the defense knows you're not going to run the ball and you're scrimmaging in situational football? Do you think that makes it harder on Hurts, knowing that the defensive guys don't have to account for any kind of run game, really? And that makes it harder on Jalen to have to stick that ball in there a little tighter? Right? So they've made practice harder on him. It's a great thing. Dude, I'm just telling you what's going on out there. Some of you are getting a little bit upset with it. That's all I'm saying. And so get this. Jalen Hurts right now doesn't have play action pass when he's playing against that defense because they're not going to run the ball. So if Hurts is turning the ball over, here, check this. You break the huddle. Go to the line of scrimmage. I already know you're not running the ball. Well, I'm going to get wider on my 3 technique, and I'm going to rush. And if I have to play the run, I'll play the run on my pass rush. Most of the time at first and second down, they're throwing the ball. First and second down in Philly is all Barkley. I don't have to worry about that. You start putting that run game in there and implementing that run game and that play action, this is what they're working on. This is what I told you. They've made it harder on him. They're struggling because they've made it harder. So Your defense is not where you think it is. The offense is dictating a lot of how they're playing by the way and what they're doing. Okay? I mean, I don't even know what this fucking means, you douchebag. I have no idea what that means. Fuck is wrong with you? I mean, dude, seriously, honest to God, man, you belong at the little kiddie table with the sippy cup. Go sit over there. I'll let you play with like a Jalen Hurts doll in a minute. Okay? It's all good, kid. Good coaching, good preparation. Seals, they're working on a couple things to improve. The up-tempo is what I think they're going to be great at. Okay, I do. I mean, I'm sorry, Drew. Oh, man. Well, dude, there's a lot of guys in here that are meatheads, so it's not that hard. I mean, seriously, that guy Sparks, man. Yeah, hey, my friend, that guy Sparks or Spit or whatever the fuck his name is. Seriously, he's the guy that's got a little high chair and his little feet swing. Seals an asshole. His little feet swings, and he hits the thing on the little kiddie chair. He hits that thing like this and fucking, you give him a rattle and he's like all over the joint. This fucking guy's like a maniac. Holy cow. I'll tell you what though, Spike. Spit, whatever. Spittoon. I don't know. Oh my God. I do get a charge out of some of you guys, man. Guy with his little sippy cup. Just an asshole. He's drinking his fucking carrot juice. Or what would that be? That'd be that fruit juice thing in that pack, right? You sip in the cup and you fucking start sucking out of the straw. No doubt. Still's an asshole. It's okay. Hey, Spittoon. Come on, man. Hey, it's okay. Yeah, hey. Let me tell you something, Spittoon. Don't worry about it, kid. Be all right, man. I got you. I'm excited about Dak versus Jalen. You can't, dude, really? For what? They got a photo shoot coming up? What's that? What are you excited about, Tim? What would you be excited about? Let me guess. They got a GQ photo shoot. And they're going to be sitting there on the cover of Oprah or like O. I could see Jalen in O. You see Jalen in O? Like Oprah's magazine. Jalen Hurts and his 5 favorite foods. And him and Zach. Or him and, Dak. Dak and Jalen's 5 favorite foods. On the cover of Oprah. Yeah, he'd be a big star at Oprah, man. O Network. Starring Jalen Hurts. Be fucking great. Imagine that? Yeah. I've had to work so hard. Been on Jordan's yacht for 7 months. We were out to sea. All we talked about was winning. Fuck yeah. Nothing about it. We're sitting there looking at the stars, and we're just talking about winning. Hey, I do think that's cool, by the way. Hey, man, you know what? I may be goofing on it. Maybe I'm jealous of that. Because would I like to sit on a boat with Michael Jordan for an entire weekend and talk about winning? You bet I would. Who wouldn't? Be an education in winning and how that guy's won it. Think about this. Michael Jordan, every single thing he's touched has been exceptional. Everything. His business, his career, how he handles himself, how he conducts himself. I mean, everything from day one to right now. Everything he does is elite. He's just elite in everything he does. Why wouldn't you want to listen to that? By the way, I heard the relationship with Jordan and him are getting exceptionally closer. Can I tell you why? Why do you think Michael Jordan and his relationship with Jalen Hurts is getting closer? I think he sees Kobe in him. I think the relationship between Jordan and Hurts, Michael Jordan found somebody that reminded him of Kobe. Okay? And if you want to use the similarities between the two, okay, and say that, well, right? They kind of remind each other of one another. Michael Jordan always thought the closest thing to him was Kobe and not LeBron. So maybe that's why that relationship was starting to get a little better and a little closer, is because Michael Jordan sees Kobe Bryant in him. And that was one of the things that attracted Jordan to Kobe, was how Kobe had a desire to want to be great at everything he does. I'm starting to think, again, that Jordan sees a little Kobe Bryant in him. Says it's amusing how Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl, but won't mention it this season, while Dak claims that they're going to win a Super Bowl. Lies two guys, different paths, Prince. One guy's talking. Here, I'll give you another example of something here. That led me to great take by you. Great take. Well, look where Dak is. Dak's talking about winning it. Jalen's talking about, the process. He's not talking about winning a Super Bowl. There's no process in Dallas. There's a process in Philly. It's not about winning Super Bowls. It's about doing the things that you do and can control on a day-to-day basis. The end result of that culture is the Super Bowls. One game's not bigger than the next game. It's a process. That's what they're talking about in Philly. Keep to the process and what we're doing every day. That's a Nick Saban line. Nick Saban never worried about winning Auburn or any of these other games. They worried about process. Are we doing the things that we need to do to make sure we keep that process working and going in the same direction each and every single year? That's how you win, and that's how you become a champion. Okay? That's how you win. Let me give you a comment here. Was it that kid Munden today that was at the presser? Was that kid Munden that was talking? They had players talking today. Was that Munden that was at the microphone? I actually liked him. I thought he was good. I did. I thought he was really good. Okay? I mean, listen, I think that kid's going to make some type of impact on the team this year. Yet, I don't know. However, so let me go to this comment here he made. I'm going to tell you guys and show you guys what I was talking about earlier. Okay? He was asked a question about the defense, and this is what he said. They go like this. The difference from you coming from Georgia and the SEC to where you are now, what's the biggest transition? And you know what Munden said? Learning my playbook and figuring out where I have to be. Georgia does a great job at preparing me. I'm paraphrasing here. They do a great job at preparing me for the upcoming season, and they prepared me. Kirby Smart does a great job, right? All that. What was Ty Robinson talking about? Munden's ahead of Ty Robinson. Okay? Munden's ahead of the game. So is Jahad Campbell. Why is that? Those guys aren't talking about hand placement and hand fighting and the speed of the game. Those guys are talking about reading their playbook. Ty Robinson's talking about getting off blocks. Those guys aren't talking like that. Those guys are ready to play. I can always tell when a guy's ready to play and when a guy's not ready to play. Ty Robinson's talking about getting hammered and handled in practice. Those guys aren't. They're talking about just reading their playbook. He was doing this. Yeah, I just got to stay in my playbook. That's the only difference that I see. Now, the guys are pros, this and that. Well, he plays against pros every year he was at Georgia. He was ready for this. You hear the difference in talking? You can tell when a guy's ready and he's prepared for what he's going to see. Them Georgia dudes, I see why they draft out of Georgia and Bama. You never hear those guys talking about shedding blocks, competition, tempo. They're talking about plays and what Vic wants me to do in those systems. They never get in the weeds about, I got to learn to be more violent with my hands. I got to get off blocks. I was listening to Ty Robinson. I thought I was talking to a guy that was at a fucking football camp. And you're teaching him the fundamentals of how to play football. Got to get off blocks, It's really when they get engaged in you, man. I got to figure out how to. And I'm listening to the SEC guys. I don't hear any of that. I mean, I don't hear any of that stuff. I hear none of that. I'm not saying that that's not true, Chris. I like the kid. I'm not saying that he can't learn, but I think it's going to be a slower process for him. Like, I thought he was going to be a contributor. I don't think he's going to be a contributor early. Maybe later. Maybe when he picks up and he picks it up more. But, dude, this guy's learning how to get off blocks. Now, albeit it's Mulata and Lane. Okay? No question about it. But those guys are taking on Goddard. Those guys are taking on Barkley. They're taking on Landon. They're taking on inside linebackers. They're taking on Juergens and them dudes. They get it. Okay? But when you listen to those guys talking, they asked them explicitly, Munden the question, hey, what do you make that transition from coming from the college game to what you're doing right now in the pros? He's like, hey, look, okay, I gotta be in my playbook. This guy wasn't fucking talking about hand shedding, taking on NFL players. Those guys are not awed by the moment. Them Georgia dudes are not. Them Alabama guys are not awed by the moment. That's really great. That means you fit in faster, in my opinion. Hey, and for the record, I'll still stick to my guns from a dude from Toledo. The problem is that Q was an SEC player, and he could have went to an SEC team anytime he wanted. But his loyalty to Toledo, he wanted to stay there because those guys were loyal to him. But that guy's an SEC player. And he got his schooling every single day by going against AJ. He's going against AJ and Devontae every day. He's getting caught up quicker. Seals, you're illustrating my point about why the defense is currently ahead and why it isn't significantly dropped off. And what's significantly dropped off? I'm sorry, I don't subscribe to that. I think the defense right now is in a position where it's at because the offense are working on certain things and they're not even running the ball. How many defenses do you think are going to look great when you don't run the ball? Vic's complaining about not being in base because he doesn't really know what it is. He wants to see the team in base. He wants to see the team play the run. Do you know that's code for that? Let's see how we play against the run. They're not running the ball in practice. They're making it more difficult on them in the passing game because there's no play action. I mean, dude, if you took Saquon Barkley away last year, you're not winning the Super Bowl because you're not getting there. It all fit in. Okay? You're not getting there. I mean, shit, you had a really good year and you still didn't have the best regular season in the NFL a year ago. That was not you. That was in Detroit. even with those injuries. I agree, but most of the defense have been in the system as well. You're right, though. No. Hey, Prince, I'm not saying you don't have talent. I've never said that. I just think that's a big drop-off, Kelee Ringo from Slay. And Gardner Johnson to Makuba is a gigantic fall-off. I think it's a huge fall-off. I don't think the Ajomo and Milton, the only difference I think is going to be the amount of reps and snaps is my concern. I don't know so much on talent. Okay? I don't know if there's a talent issue. What did Vic say? Can he hold up? Because he thinks it's going to be by committee on the amount of snaps that Milton played. He may have a talent that's in the conversation with Milton Williams, but can he play the amount of snaps that Milton played? Hey, just because you're good and you may think that guy's replaceable with Morrow, fair enough. Do you think he's going to play over 1,000 snaps this year? Vic doesn't think so. He thinks it's going to be more by committee. Okay? It's going to be, he said that. I didn't. He made that comment. So what you're saying would hit harder now if you wasn't saying the same thing this time last year. Again, I don't believe you're going to duplicate that. Wait, well, cool. So cool. You believe that Kelee Ringo is in the same athletic ability of playing corner as Darius Slay, and you believe that Makuba, who's never played it down in the NFL, who's hurt already and can't get through helmets and shorts, or Sidney Brown is going to be better than Gardner Johnson. Is that what you're saying? Yes or no? Do you believe that? Better. He believes Kelee Ringo will be better than Darius Slay. Okay? You got quite a deal to work with then. Okay? Okay? I'm just saying. Trotter's having a camp. He's having a good camp. Campbell's just better. The more Campbell plays and the more Trotter plays, it's the end of Dean. You understand that? Jahad Campbell playing the way he's playing and Trotter playing that way, Kobe's finished. The Kobe Dean's finished. Maybe. Okay? Maybe. It's crazy to say that one player could cover versatility of Milton Williams and two guys couldn't beat out CJ and Slay are better than them. Well, that's what people in here think. That Keely's going to be a better player than Slay, or it's an upgrade, and that Makuba's an upgrade from Gardner Johnson. And that Moro Ajomo, albeit he's having a good camp, Vic questions whether or not he can play the 1,000 snaps counting the postseason he'll have to play. Coordinator questioned that, not me. I questioned it, though, anyway, before the coordinator got a chance to tell you. Okay? And you guys are telling me that's wrong. Well, the coordinator said it. As a matter of fact, the coordinator just about justifies every single thing I say. Slay understands the route concepts and router. Ringo has not reached his level yet. So, Prince, how many years has Ringo been on the team? Prince, how many years? How many years has Ringo been on the team? 3. Okay. Why did they draft Q if they had such high promises for him? Why did they draft Q? If they thought this guy was going to be the heir apparent to Slay and thought he was going to be a gigantic, why'd they draft Q and then turn around and draft Cooper, who they thought was going to be also a corner when they drafted him? If they thought so highly of Ringo. Depth? Wait, depth and starting are two different things, my friend. You know, you've got me confused here on something because, you know, again, first and foremost here, you know, the Kevin Petula thing about skipping over him a couple times. And now all of a sudden you're telling me Keely Ringo's going to be a superstar, and yet they drafted 2 corners last year. Help me out on that. Can you? I think so much of the player. I drafted 2 corners last year. Okay. Hey. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Boy, I'll tell you. This show's like a fucking echo chamber. Big. Sell. It's like a fucking echo chamber in this bitch, man. I say it here. Somehow, it starts to resonate across. Hey, by the way, man, I got to tell you, somebody's sending me a bunch of great shit about that Grok thing. I'm already a king of fucking Philly sports talk. Holy shit. Yeah, that didn't take long. All right. This going to be a fun year, Momo. This going to be hold on here. Let me get this. July the 31st. Hall of Fame game tonight, baby. All right. Make sure you check the show out right after, man. Birds 365. Oh, by the way, all the shit that I said today, let's see if Johnny Boy, a little bit later on, has the same kind of convo about Jalen today in the offense here, having to do. Here, this will be what happened at camp today for the offense. Ready? Without further ado, look at this right here. Hulk Hogan thought he had bicep. Big Sills with the 24-inch guns and pythons. With all that being said, brother, make sure you know when you check Birds 365, what are you going to do when Big Z runs wild on you? Here he is, Xander Krause. How you doing, man?
What up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
I am in a great mood today.
I can tell. I can tell you are just having a field day with the great people of JAKIB Nation today.
Absolutely. When ESP comes out and dubs Hurts today a D+.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm gonna put you in a bad mood.
That's not my grade. I didn't grade him.
You're gonna go from a good mood to a bad mood by the time this sucker's over.
Tell me how.
Well, you tell me. You're bitching about.
Okay. No, not bitching. Focus. I'm not. There's no concern.
I recognize this mood, everybody. Where have I seen this before?
It's focus, not concern. Okay? So, I'll ask you the questions. Vic said that they've been in 11 personnel the majority of camp, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they've been throwing the ball a lot during training camp, correct?
That's what the word is, yeah.
Okay. Do you think they've made it harder on the offense by not running the ball? If I'm a defensive guy and I know you're not going to run the ball.
Well, I mean, does anybody really run a lot in camp, even the big, you know?
Okay. The element of
just hear me out. Isn't camp kind of just passing camp for the offense?
I think when
you don't really line up in camp and go like, all right, let's. When
I have Barkley, no, but when I have
in the run game, like I don't think people do that at camp.
They're running the ball a lot in Tampa.
Well, I mean, they're a play action team. That's a much different thing. We're never going to be a play action team.
Okay, you're not
different, yeah.
But do you think the element of Barkley in the backfield, when he's running the ball and I'm a defender, I've got to defend that, whether you're a passing team or not. I got to defend that guy.
Yeah.
If you take that element away, I just pin my ears. I'm rocking and rolling on you. They've made it harder on the offense.
So what's on your mind? Well,
okay.
You're not getting the statistics from practice aren't reaching the big Sills threshold. What's going on here, Sills?
Okay, they're working on the passing game. And what I said earlier is I think they're figuring out what that volume of passing increase has got to look like without turning the ball over. Because here's the two things they're doing. They're turning the ball over, and situational play calling has been an issue so far in the 10 days they've been in camp in 11 personnel. They've got to figure out what's that number, Xander. Is it 12 more passes, 11 more passes, before we start getting concerned about turning the ball over? Right now, they're turning it over.
I don't think there's
every day they're turning it over now.
I don't think there's a set number, Sills. I really don't. I mean, first off, every game's got different personalities. Some games are going to ask him to throw a lot more than 12 times more than the average, and some games might be below the average, depending on what the opponent's doing and how any given game is unfolding. And the other part about it is you said it. I mean, this team is a 3, 4, 5, 6-headed monster. So you don't have to go into one game or any game and say, oh, I got to throw it this many times to be successful in this game, or I got to do this. You really don't. Saquon's probably going to win some games for you. You might have to use A.J. Brown. Remember, we act like Jalen never threw the ball. A.J. had, if I remember correctly, 7 or 8 games in a row where he had 125 yards plus. It was like the longest streak in NFL history. So, maybe you rely on him in certain stretches of the year. Certainly, maybe you rely on Jalen Hurts and the legs, certainly at certain times. So I'm not going to put a number on it. I get where you're going. If they're trying to go up from
where that's what we're working on.
Well, yeah. And I think, the consensus is that, and we talked about this yesterday, but the usage rate of the passing game will go up. What's that look like?
Right.
I think it will rise because of everybody coming in knowing about Saquon Barkley a lot more so than they did a year ago. But to what level or to what direct number I could put on it, I don't think I could put a number on it. I think it's each game has its own personality.
I still think this is a 35 to 38 carry team, don't you? I mean, until you prove to me that I need – how about this, Xander? Don't you want to get into a fight with somebody knowing full well your strength is knocking dudes out? Why would I want to diminish that a little bit? Why would I want to sell? Because I'm going to your point. Why would I go like this? Well, let me throw 5 more passes in this Cowboy game when so I really don't have to throw it.
Exactly. Yeah, and until somebody proves that they can stop it, yeah, I agree. But I do think the team is so versatile. It's one of the things that Howie Roseman has done is the team doesn't like hear me out. If Joe Burrow doesn't have a good day throwing the ball, that team is fucked.
Absolutely.
The team is fucked. If Josh Allen takes off his Superman cape for a game and can't run and pass and throw and do everything that he does, team is screwed. Eagles are built different, and you said it earlier in the show. Some people would take it as a knock, but I don't think it's a knock at all. We don't need to ride Jalen's coattails every game. We don't have to. It's a great thing. Most teams that have to ride their quarterback every game don't win the Super Bowl.
That's right.
That's a fact. So we have a better setup, and I don't think I want to get too stressed or too, worked up about what the passing numbers are going to be. Dude,
they're working on it, though, Xander. They're working on it.
But I also think, what do you work on? You don't work on the run game.
Well, you're not working on balance right now. You're working on one side of the football.
Again, I don't think in general across the board, most NFL teams aren't working on running that much in their camp. They're not even allowed to hit people. They're not even hitting people full out. It's not like practice back in the day, dude.
Balance.
They're working on it. You don't line up in 11-on-11s and team drills and red zone and start running the ball. I just don't think that's what you do that much in camp as compared to how much you would pass the ball.
Vic made a point of it, dude. We're not even we've never really seen our base yet. We're not even I can't tell.
Because their base is
right now.
Their base is only used 10% of the time in the season anyway.
He said it. I didn't. He was the guy that said that comment.
Yeah, but he also said he hasn't talked to Nick about it because he probably understands it's part of it.
That's because it's what they're focusing on. Again, not worried, Xander. They're focusing on
chance, Sills. There's a small chance, but a chance that our passing usage this year goes down.
Okay.
Just to get to my point again of we're so versatile, we don't have to worry about any of this shit. Dude, it could go down and we could win another Super Bowl. Like, this team is built to be able to defy what the modern game has made of offenses. They can run, they can throw, or they can, and they can do all sorts of different things to win. So we'll see. It all depends on what the opponents are capable of week in and week out.
You think they're keeping Barkley on a pitch count in camp?
John says he's surprised how much they've been using him in camp. So I don't know what that means, though. Like, because you just said it. Vic has said they haven't run any base defense, so they're obviously not running the ball that much in the team drills or in the 11-on-11s and 7-on-7s and stuff. I mean, 7-on-7s is glorified passing camp. That's all that is. So, but I don't know. I mean, it seems like they're going to use him a lot, but I think the optimism is a little bit that A.J. Dillon looks like, if he can stay healthy, he might have something there. And
he's a good player.
He's a great change of pace backman. I loved him when he was in Green Bay early in his career. Now, stingers are a scary thing, but if he can stay healthy, I think he's going to be a great addition. Get Saquon off the field, and in comes a bulldozer. The other thing that does is you don't give defenses a break. Like, I liked Kenny Gainwell, but Kenny Gainwell didn't inflict shit on anybody. No. Let's be real. Saquon came out, and I guarantee the whole defense went, woo! Now you might do that from a talent perspective with A.J. Dillon, but the one thing you can't do is if that dude's running at you, you better be ready to hit him because he'll run your ass over, man. So I think that's a great thing to have when Saquon comes off the field, because remember, there were a lot of times last year where you saw Saquon, getting up. He was wheezing, man. He had to get off the field for some snaps. So we use him a lot. That's part of the game. I think I like the opportunity. Like the potential of.
I like him.
Yeah, we'll see.
I like him a lot. All right, so they've got Keely Ringo out at corner, right? If they thought so highly of him, why'd they draft 2 corners last year?
Well, if we had Ringo and didn't draft 2 corners, who the hell would we have?
You had Cooper DeJean. You drafted him as a corner, and you drafted Q as a corner. If you thought so highly of Ringo,
it's 3 spots.
There's 2 in base.
Ringo can't play 3 spots. So
wait a minute. You think cornerback is a lesser important role than nickel?
No, I'm saying that there's 3 corners on the field at any given time. And with what Cooper has been, he's become the Swiss Army knife. Now he's going to line up at safety and do different things. You need multiple defensive backs. Well, Keely Ringo is good, and you don't need any other defensive backs.
Keely Ringo, cornerback versus nickel is night and day.
Yeah, but dude, Keely Ringo.
You drafted 2 corners.
Keely Ringo could be Jalen Ramsey. We would still need to have drafted cornerbacks.
Oh, he's Jalen Ramsey now.
I said he could be Jalen Ramsey, and we would still need other players.
Okay.
That was by the way, that was also the next area to go. Think about what they did on defense. They drafted multiple defensive tackles. They spent a first-round pick on a defensive end. They signed, Zach Bond came after the fact, so linebacker was the one they neglected, but they did kind of hit on all the defensive line, and then it was like, we got Slay and Bradbury. Like, where do we go from here? It was obvious corner that year.
Okay, right. They drafted those 2 guys with him already on the team, and you're telling me that his position at nickel is more important Keely's. Oh, no, the nickel position is more important than where Keely Ringo is.
I didn't say that.
Well, that's what's playing out right now.
Well, no, I think Cooper gives you there's a degree of I would put a premium on the value that Cooper brings, even if he never lines up outside a game in his life, because Vic likes versatile players. And Vic has already shown I'm going to move him around. I mean, when we drafted him last year, we didn't expect him to be the nickel. Like, we didn't draft him, and then a week after, our immediate draft analysis wasn't the Eagles got their nickel. Like, it was they drafted a versatile a cornerback who could be safety, could be nickel, could be outside. I
thought he'd be more of a safety.
Safety. Some people thought safeties. I've always thought he could be outside too, because I thought he was as talented. Now, some people pushed back and said he'll never be an outside corner. Maybe you're right. I'm not really sure what Cooper could be. I believe he's capable of every position in the secondary. Nickel, corner, and the 2 safety spots. I believe he could do everything. Now, that guy has a different scale to weigh the value of him versus a guy like a Ringo or a Quinion, because they're both – you're not moving Quinion to safety ever. He's a corner.
Do you Do
Cooper's
you
a
think
different need.
do you think Vic's in a tough spot here with this? Because here, let's just say it. If Vic thought he could play corner every day, which again, I think he can. Why would you put him out there and worry about the safety position? Those guys are more interchangeable than the guys are at the cornerback position. Look at the money that's being paid around the league. They're that's more of a premium position. You guys have had multiple different cornerbacks safeties throughout the last 4 years. You've interchanged them. Absolutely everywhere. Cornerback has been the more difficult job in the history of drafting, even for Howie.
And also, I think even at large at the NFL. I mean, in the NFL,
Finding those guys are hard as hell.
Yeah, it's hard. Well,
why won't you put them out there?
I do think they're maybe holding out hope on Ringo, and I kind of said this in my morning show the other day.
He did say the roster will dictate where Cooper plays.
But I do think like another year, like if Cooper, let's just play it out. Like let's say Cooper's a hybrid nickel and safety this year, safety and base nickel, and when there's more DBs on the field. I don't know if then I do think there becomes a point where he might get hamstrung on the inside. Like they would never how late in his career would they make the move outside? Maybe it is. Maybe it would be longer. But I do think eventually it's going to get to a point probably where he becomes a nickel or a safety kind of in the middle of the field. But, I said this on my morning show, and this is maybe my honest biggest concern with this team this year. I don't want people to rest on their laurels in the sense of we drafted Makuba to be the safety. Let's let it pan out. Like, dude, if he's not good enough, identify it early and fix it. Because you got an opportunity right now that teams, franchises dream of having. All right. You're coming off a Super Bowl and you're widely talked about as still the best team in the NFL. I don't care if I'm wrong on Ringo. Like, don't let your ego get in the way. If he fucking stinks, move him.
It's about the unit.
So don't let that get in the way. That would be the one thing where, you know how GMs are, man. It's not just a Howie thing. This is every GM. They want to be right, man. And I get that. I can appreciate that. I want to do things right in my line of work and in my business and in everything. But you're not going to do everything right. And when you have a rare opportunity like this Eagles team has, you can't fall asleep. Now, I happen to think they're in a pretty good spot. But if something did go out, like I think right now the best chance is I actually think it's less Ringo and maybe even more Makuba right now. Like Ringo is a 3-year player. Ringo has at least seen games be played. He's been a part of it. He's watched the number one defense. He's seen Slay move for a couple years. Makuba's a brand new pro. Like, are we sure we should go into the season with that big of a question mark? Now, if he's cooking, great. If he's going to be Cooper or Quinion in year one, great. If he's not, say it, man. And it's not an indictment on your career. It's just where we are this year,
And again, it's got to be him picking up what they want him to do.
Right.
Like I said, I think a lot of these younger guys, I think you're going to be spoiled by what Cooper and Q did a year ago. And you're going to expect a lot from these first-year guys. And again, you know what? It looks like Jahad Campbell is that guy.
Dude, that was rarefied air last year. Your top two picks were both in the top 4 for defensive rookie of the year. That was rarefied air last year in terms of expecting that level of talent and improvement on your defense from a rookie player. Like you don't get that often.
Man. No, you don't see that. Hey, let me ask you this again. It's not a major concern. It's a question. Because you're starting to see it a little bit raise its head a little more. Do you think Vic has a chance of wearing with him being so open, do you think Vic, because guys like that, like Tortorella, they wear your ass out because you know why?
I actually know where you're going.
You have no filter.
Right.
And when you have no filter, you say shit like, hey, I get it. I'm a great. I get it. So
some would say Sills could wear some people.
Hey, let me just say this. Don't you think that after a while, that gets a little bit, if you're the organization, don't you kind of pause that a little bit and go, Hey, Vic's wearing me out here by telling me I didn't want a Dory Jackson or inferring that. All of a sudden, there he fucking shows up. I looked out there and there he was.
Right.
I mean, that's not kind of the kind of shit you want to hear. You want to be all on the same page. I'm not saying it's there, but do you think there's a little bit that Vic's one of those guys that wear your ass out?
I think it's possible. I mean, especially based on the front office that we do have. I mean, look, we love them. They're operating at a very high level, but they kind of blew Doug Peterson out for the same reason.
That's right.
He was just done dealing with them. And Doug Peterson really wasn't a dude that would ruffle that many feathers. He just wanted to pick a damn coordinator after winning the Super Bowl.
He didn't like that Monday meeting after the Atlanta game.
Like that's not really a big ask. And Vic is the type of dude who will walk up to the podium and just say what's on his mind. But I think I like to believe that the ego is not going to get in the way of somebody that was as successful as Vic. I mean, nobody, not Howie, not Jeffrey, nobody thought he would have done with the defense what he did last year. Now, there is some credit that goes to the players. There's some credit that goes to Howie for drafting a lot of those players. But the way Vic took those ingredients and baked a fucking British baking show cake with it, man. I mean, that was impressive. So, I mean, I don't know what – I mean, look, where you're right is this. All right? Vic went to the podium the other day, and he said – I didn't really want a Dory Jackson. That was Howie Roseman liked him, and he brought him in, and he thought his skill set would fit. Like, that was the first that I've heard Vic kind of, that wasn't my guy. Now, let's just say for a second, a Dory Jackson falls flat on his face, can't play, and now Vic has created everybody knows how he wanted that guy. Now compound that for 3 years. If that happens a couple years, that's where I could see that maybe being a thing, but that's far out, and I'm not going to.
Hold on, let me to what you just said. Let me add to what you just said. You think, and I'll ask you two dudes. You think Bryce Huff was a Vic Fangio recommendation?
And no.
Remember what the whole conversation was? Hey, how hard was he last year in camp by going? Yeah, he's just got to learn how to play 3 downs, and he doesn't really know what he's doing. And all of a sudden, I thought he started calling people out.
And remember, he didn't call out Howie last year because he
no. But what he said, he was calling the player out by saying this guy doesn't know what he's doing in here.
Yeah, but I'm saying now a year later, first overall defense,
let me go
Super
further
Bowl,
now.
Now Vic is like, hey, that was Howie's guy. Versus last year, he never told you whether Bryce was his guy.
That Super Bowl gave him another set of nuts too, you know, a little bit here. So all of a sudden, the Gardner Johnson thing was this.
You have to bring up Bryce Huff on a July 31st, beautiful fucking summer afternoon.
I'm talking Vic here. Hold on here now. How about this one with Gardner Johnson? Yeah, that was a Howie move. Howie was a cap moved out. You got to ask him. I don't know. We'll move on. So, and now you have him going, I didn't want a Dory Jackson. So I'm just saying, Xander, Huff wasn't my guy. CJ was a Howie cut. And now Dory Jackson shows up, and Vic's going, I didn't fucking ask for the guy to be here.
Well remember, Fangio never said that on Huff. He never admitted to that.
You're right. He just ripped them every day in fucking meetings.
Well, but there's still an assumption that lies. It's a whole nother thing to go name drop. Like Vic literally said about Dory, like he wasn't me.
By the end of the year, Vic deactivated him for the Super Bowl, and he was healthy.
Wait, I thought you said Howie's got control over the 53.
He does. He does. That's his guy.
All right, so Howie deactivated his ass.
Yeah.
Maybe that was Howie saying to Vic, this guy's a stiff, and I'm getting rid of him, and you're never giving me a guy to sign again.
Okay. Oh, so now you're thinking that's Bryce was a Vic guy.
I'm just throwing out there that all of the scenarios are possible. Okay, I'm not insinuating
I know this
one way or the other.
When I heard the thing on Makuba too. Hey, his ass ain't out there. You know what? Can I tell you what Clint Hurt told me? He goes, what'd you take it at when he said this about that dude not being out there, being hurt? I went like this. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling. We have an open battle for safety. Yeah. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Should be, man. No rookie should walk in and have a job given to him. And in fact, Andrew Makuba hit the lottery in terms of guys you got to beat out to get on the field in the NFL. Most guys that get drafted into this league, they got a lot harder competition than Sidney Brown. All right. So Makuba's kind of got it made. All right. So I know people like Makuba, and I actually think the guy has a chance to be a good player in the longer term. But on a 1-year look, I don't give a shit about anything after next February. I can't say I have a lot of confidence that he's going to be a great player this year. Now, I will come up here and say I was dead wrong early for doubting him, and he proved me wrong if he plays well. I'm not going to sit here and put a ceiling on him and say he's never going to be good. But I want to go and win a damn Super Bowl again. All right? And I'm not really sure how I feel about Makuba being the starting safety.
Okay.
I think Sidney Brown might be the leader in that clubhouse right now.
How about this? Guys, this morning, I had Dabo Swinney on the Tampa show. We talked mostly college football. I asked him about Makuba. You know what he said? He was hurt. I thought he was too small. And he didn't like how we were changing him in and out of the lineup, so he transferred. Do you know that Dabo Swinney has the least amount of transfers out of his program of any program in the last 16 years in college football?
What do you say? So I do know you're connected with Dabo.
Dabo was
on the show. He's been on the show. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, folks, anybody who has not been on this program does not go on any other program. That's just so you know. Well, and it was mostly college football, but he said he thought he was too small and often injured and didn't like being rotated around.
It's one thing to be small, but it's another thing to play the game the way he does and be small. He's a very physical-minded player, which I love.
By the way, he played great last year at Texas.
Yes, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson was a physically minded player. Remember, like he used to fucking hit people and get jacked up about it. Not every player is like that, and I do think Makuba brings that a little bit. It's a spammer. Brings that a little bit, but if you can't handle it, you
can't handle helmets and shorts right now.
Yeah, maybe it's a fluke.
Okay,
injury. I don't know. I mean, was he back today? I didn't even see. I was in.
I hope so, because the way Vic was talking, that wasn't pleasant. When you're a young guy, he probably was out there, was he? What's up with Devontae's back?
I think it's just.
That guy's not a guy who misses practice, too. That guy's.
No, I know. I don't think it's anything serious, dude. I think it's just they're not going to risk anything.
Did Makuba get on the field yet today?
I'm looking for it now. No, he wasn't. No, he was. I'm getting conflicting reports here. Let me type it in. I should have known this. Sorry.
That's all good, man.
I didn't do my prep yet. I didn't do my prep for the night show yet.
Was he? He might have been limited.
Yeah, he was limited today. All right, so he was at least closer today.
Okay,
so not practice, but he was limited.
Okay. All right, that's still,
Yeah, he was limited, but he was out there.
Okay, I want to show you something here, man. I want to show you the difference in football mentality that I was talking to you about. Did you see that kid Munden talking?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you make of him?
I think he's a smart dude. He's pretty impressive, and he knows he's a guy that knows the game. Like I could see Vic doing wonders on a guy like him. Good athletic prowess, good instinct. Played college ball at a really high level. Was asked to do a lot. I like Munden. I like Munden a lot. I think that's another feather in the cap of how the hell do you ever make it work with Nakobe Dean? You just can't.
I know.
I mean, Trotter's been good. Munden looks like he's good. He got a first-team rep today.
Campbell's exceeding.
Campbell already. You got Zach Bond. Like I don't know. I mean, it's too bleak for Nakobe Dean to think about him in the future. But I do like Munden a lot.
I want to show you the difference in mentality and how guys are ready compared to other guys. So he was asked a question today. John may have asked it, but there was a question today. He goes like this. He goes, "What's the number one thing you're doing right now? And what's the number one thing you're doing to prepare from coming from the college game to the pro game?" And you know what he said? "Yeah, for me, man, it's really playbook. I got to really know where to line up. I've got to figure out where Vic wants responsibilities are. There's a whole new jargon.
Right.
And then I turn around and I listen to Ty Robinson going, hey, man, it's a whole new world for me, man. I can't worry about getting hand active. I got to get guys getting off me. I've got to have, it's a whole different world. I'm learning every day. Boy, you could tell the difference between guys that are mentally prepared to play and come out of that Alabama and Georgia program than you can anywhere else. Because when you hear people that different talking about their experiences on where they are on the practice field, boy, Ty Robinson is behind. That kid Munden, Campbell, all them guys were talking like it's a seamless transition for us. Most of the guys that they played against, I mean, do you think at this? Do you think that like Nakobe ever played against Landon Dickerson?
In college, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, they might have been. Were they there at the same time?
Right.
No.
You think they were in practice together?
Maybe.
Okay.
No, well, not practice. Not practice.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's a Georgia dude.
Georgia dude.
Okay. So wait.
And Landon was Florida State for 3 years.
First, right. And then, yeah. Okay. So
nobody wants to go to Florida State. I mean, if you're in Florida,
no.
that's why this is why Johnny Wilson will never work. Guys out of Florida State. I mean, just don't draft Florida State players.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm talking to a Miami guy, but even as an Alabama guy, you just don't fucking take Florida State. Come on. You go there to get honeys. You don't go there to play football.
No, that's right. Florida State, you don't go to, especially with the Neal deal they got set up now. Anyway, so those guys have been playing against one another. They know each other. Most of these, you're not shocked what I'm saying if you're Jahad Campbell when you go into Eagle camp. Yeah. Now, look, the Eagles that are a higher level than the Jets, obviously. Okay, that's a higher level of dude. But, dude, those guys are prepared. Ty Robinson's talking like this. Holy shit, this guy put his hands on me. I couldn't fucking shake him loose. This guy's shaking me and shaking the change out of my pocket. I got to learn to be active. I'm not hearing those guys talk like that. I'm hearing those guys talk about technique and playbook. That's so far ahead of the game, guys. Dude, that Munden's going to play. Campbell's going to play. You see they worked him at edge too today?
Yep.
Okay, I mean.
That's big. That's it. That's a big. I've been waiting for that.
You know why they're working with what I said to you yesterday? Because they're going to keep Ojulari. They're going to keep Uche. They're going to have Hunt, Nolan Smith, and they're going to put Bond, and they're going to have Campbell as your six.
And you're going to have versatility, which is
right. And you're going to have 2 extra roster spots that you can go deep on the O-line or potentially at edge or potentially in the secondary. So they're creating roster spots doing that shit. Hey, I want to bring something up to you and ask you just a question off the Eagles here. You think Jared Goff's a good quarterback?
Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback. Good. Yeah, I think he's very competent, very accurate, gets the ball out quick, reads defense is great. I think he struggles a little bit when pressure hits and when things aren't perfect. If he doesn't have a great offensive line, I don't think he's a great improviser as a quarterback, but I think he's very good when the system around him is working. And he's obviously got great weapons there. I mean, they got Jamison Williams, they got Amon-Ra St. Brown, they got Tim Patrick, the third wide receiver, they got the 2 running backs there, they got the big tight end. Like their offense from a skill set standpoint, is probably the closest to the Eagles from a sheer amount of talent, that they have.
Let me throw this at you. I haven't had him on the show yet. I'm trying to get him on this show here, but I was texting with Chris Spielman, who's an executive with the Lions, because again, the Hall of Fame game tonight. I tried to get him on this program.
Yeah,
I asked him a question about Ben Johnson. He goes, Sills, you want to know what the word is? The word is savant. The guy's a savant. I've never in my entire life ever been around a guy who's more of a savant. And where I'm going with this is think about the coaching that Jared Goff has had. You've had Sean McVay as your coordinator, and you've had Ben Johnson now.
Yeah.
And I said, do you think Ben Johnson's going to make an impact in Chicago? He goes, my God almighty, that kid's going to be a superstar because of that quarterback. And now I've upped my take because I value Chris Spielman's opinion.
Yeah.
A lot. I do. I mean,
I hear you.
Brad.
I like Ben Johnson. I do wonder.
I don't know what kind of head coach he'll be. I know I'm talking about him working with Taylor.
Yeah. Some guys are just like better as coordinators. I'm not saying he's going to be that. I'm not trying to limit the dude already, but that's what I'm waiting to see on him. I don't have any questions about the about him as an offensive mind and stuff. So we'll see. I mean, is your takeaway from that as well that you think Jared Goff's going to take a big step the other way?
No, because the kid's been in the building working with Ben Johnson, and that Jared Goff has really excelled because look, he's worked with Ben Johnson and Sean McVay. You're in now the prime of your career where, I mean, really, you know what good coaching is. You've been coached by some of the best play callers in the National Football League. I mean, Xander, you put a guy in there and you have a lesser guy in there. Jared Goff should cover that less knowledge if there is, don't you think, having been coached by McVay and Ben Johnson? I think he should be at a new level now where, like you said this to me about Kevin Patullo. If Kevin Patullo, say, is not this A-plus coordinator, shouldn't Jalen Hurts, after all these years being around all these different coordinators, shouldn't he cover the gap on being that kind of player that, guess what? Do you really have to have a sensational play caller when you have a quarterback that's won a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Isn't that a feather in Hurts' cap? I mean,
it's a feather in Goff's cap too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Well, let's see. I mean, Goff did. I think this is going to be your first really big look at a big change. I mean, you pointed it out. McVay and Ben are two of the better offensive minds. You know what I mean? So
Totally.
I don't know if you can say the same about Kellen Moore and Shane Steichen. While they are good, I don't know if they're viewed in NFL circles like the other two guys are. So we will see. But I think it's a good point by you.
I mean, how about this here too? Moving forward here, going into the second week here, is there anything in your opinion right now? Is one thing came out of that? Jahad Campbell's the starting inside linebacker next to Zach Bond, and the two open spots are safety and corner still, in your opinion. Is that right?
Yeah, I think safety and corner are still open. I think safety or corner, it might be closer to Ringo than we're thinking, or even at that it appears right now, because I'm just taking Vic at his word. I don't think he likes Adoree Jackson very much. I mean, It almost sounds like he sounded on Bryce. So we'll see. And you brought that to my attention today. So we will see. I think the Eagles' safety position is definitely – I actually think Sidney Brown might win it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
More comfortable now. Here's the thing about Ajomo, because you said this. Let's just say that he has the same kind of ability as Milton. Don't you think the question is what Vic said in his presser? It's not so much that he's not going to be in the conversation with how good a player he is. It's going to be if he can play all the reps that Milton can play. Because he even said it might be by committee. So isn't that going to be the question mark on Moro Ajomo? I actually feel better about the D-line than I did prior to camp. I feel better about them right now than the safeties, to me, I thought were going to be a little bit more where you kind of had an idea where you were going. Now you got further away. Do you not agree? You got further away in the safety position for sure.
Well,
because of the injury to Makuba.
Well, potentially. I mean, potentially. We'll see. I think you got two unproven commodities there. So it's like, what could they be? You know what I mean? I don't know. Could they be really good, better than we think? Sure, they could. That doesn't mean they're going to be. I think with the Ajomo conversation and up on the front, I got a sense that Vic is going to rely on Jordan Davis in there. And if he sinks, it's going to be a struggle for more of Ajomo. Now, hey, maybe Ajomo is good enough and can be as good as Milton was or close to it, to the point where you don't even want Jordan out there. But it sounded like Vic's plan was a fusion of the two. It's not just Morrow and it's Morrow and Jordan. And they're gonna whoever's got the hot hand or whoever's, available on a given down or less tired on a given, whatever the case might be, that's who I'm going to use to make up for it. So that's also a reason I'm optimistic on Jordan Davis. If Vic wants to expand your role beyond what he asked you to do last year and become more of a 3-down defensive tackle, until he tells me you can't do it, then I think he's maybe better positioned to do it this year than he was last year. Okay,
couple last ones here. Ready? Does Ajomo play a lot of exhibition football?
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay. Does Jahad Campbell play a lot of exhibition football?
I wouldn't say a lot because I think they're going to be cautious with him, but I would say he plays.
More edge or more inside?
Inside.
Inside. Does Makuba play a lot of exhibition football?
If he's healthy, I would say he should be.
The Sydney.
If he's healthy, I would say he should play definitely a couple of series at least.
Limited depth at corner. Does Keeley play out there? You lose Keeley to a
if you fucking sit Ringo for the preseason, I'm going to be like, really?
Well, wait a minute. If that guy gets nicked up, who plays the corner?
I know. So, look, here's the thing. They're probably going to default to putting them all on the bench. That's the Eagles' way. And me and you agreed that no matter what we thought, we can't say shit because
that's right.
Worked. So I don't know. I just wonder with the younger group, does Vic get his way? Because Vic wants him to play.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I think you're in a position out there with Keeley. You got to play that guy. You got to see what he is.
Yeah, I agree.
Then I tell you
here's the other question: are you really going to see what he is versus whoever Jake Hayner or whoever the third string quarterback is for the Bengals? Like, you might not even be able to tell anyway.
Jake Browning.
Whatever, whoever the fuck it is, dude. I don't really
contract.
I don't really care about the Bengals.
He's a kid from Washington.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Trey Lance is starting tonight for the Chargers.
That'd be fun.
Hey, what do you make of that game tonight?
I'm excited. It's Lions Chargers, right? You got Trey Lance. Give me something to watch a little bit. I don't know how much of it I will watch, but I'll watch some of it for sure. I'll flip it on the TV. I'm not as big of a TV watcher. I know you get off the show and you like kick your feet up and you open 16 Coronas and you just fucking don't move, so. Silly. I know what the deal is.
This guy knows my fucking habits, man, because he get me. You know what? Hey, you don't know how many times Andrew texts me this at 4:30 in the morning. Why?
I haven't done that in a year.
I know.
Shit.
I used to get these. Look, you know what though? After all the years of getting beat up by people calling him to tell you guys to fucking fire Big Sil, Xander's probably just went like this now. And I get 100 of these a day.
I get them about the chat box too. That's the new thing. People will DM me or email me about.
God,
they want me to block people. They want me to block certain people in the chat, and I'm like,
no,
I'm not really going to block somebody because they offended you. I block certain people because there's just some people that are just like they're like they're not even annoying. I don't care if you're annoying. It's just like you're not going to add shit. It's like they come in and they're just like, all right, whatever. So I get rid of them. But overall, we keep everybody. I mean, I love when people disagree with our football takes. That's what creates a fun chat box.
That's right, man. Hey, how's John think of practice so far? How's he? I mean, can you pull anything out of him?
It's like dragging your nails on a chalkboard, but I can get some stuff out of him.
How's he feel about it? How's he feel how things are going?
I don't think he feels anything. It's weird. He's just like, well, it's practice. Who cares? I'm like, John, this is what we got right now, my friend. This is this is part of what we do. But, John is a meat and potatoes guy. He hates all the icing and all the bullshit. And he thinks practice is for getting better and getting the rust off and some of those things. He doesn't care to, there's certain things he looks for, whether, he feels Vic is going some way, one way or another at certain players and things like that. But, overall, I don't know. I don't think he feels hard one way or another.
Well, obviously, when you're watching something, you're seeing that the Eagles are working on throwing the ball this camp.
Yeah, I mean, everybody does that. What do you like? This is what I don't get with you.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Everybody comes to camp and throws. Everybody.
The Eagles, right? Yeah. Why are they struggling then?
Well, I don't know. Why is any team struggling in training camp in July?
Oh, wait a minute. So you're trying to tell me so Keeley must be locking down AJ
No.
fucking Brown. Wow.
No.
Okay, no, what then? Why are they struggling? Why is the defense with so many inexperienced players ahead of the offense?
Are you really? Wait a second.
For shits and giggles here.
So
why are they?
On one hand, I got John who tells me that not a fucking thing matters. All right. And then on the other hand, I got Sileo who's ready to sound the alarm in the Philadelphia Eagles in July.
No.
It's fucking July. It's July. It's not even August yet.
There's no alarm.
July.
There's no alarm. There's no alarm here.
They're not struggling. That's fake news. Who told you that?
Okay, well then you asked John today when they had turnovers and they were inconsistent and
It's practice.
situational play calling was a problem today.
You ever woke up the practice field when you played ball at a high level and say, "Holy shit, I got beat up today"?
It's 4 days in a row. How you doing? No, I haven't.
So,
but I'll tell you,
I never got beat, not even once in practice.
In college, never.
All right, Sills.
No. Because the next day when I got in there, when the guy thought he did, I broke his spleen. I'm not kidding. His name was Mike Pigza. I really liked the guy. He thought he got me the day before. I fucking broke his spleen. That's a true story. Poor guy. Hey, man, you know what? And I love him to death, but I had to do it.
He's still watching your show today.
Hey, I love the guy. He's a Kane guy, man. Oh, good. All right, let's get to the supers, homie.
All right, let's see what the great people at JAKIB Nation got. All right, I don't know if we have very many of them. Here we go. Rod in the bench. What's up, brother? He says, here late, but if our DB room is a question, why not bring in a vet like Stephon Gilmore? Even if he's old,
no
he
way.
Gives a vet back there and a former defensive player of the year.
They're not going down that lane, man.
I don't want to get caught in it.
Do you believe that organization, by the way, guys, supers go to the top here.
I like him because he's zone heavy at this point in his career, isn't he? So he might
he is. But if they were going to do something like that, don't you think that would have done that prior to camp?
No, probably not with a player like that. That's it. That's not a player you're like, oh, he needs camp. You know, like that.
Remember Samuel.
Yeah, right. Remember like an Ndamukong Suh. He was like, he waited for the middle of the year to even
middle of the year.
Right. So I think that would be more like that, actually. But I don't know. I don't want to get caught into that he's a former defensive player of the year, maybe just from a knowledge standpoint for the young guns. But
he's a good player, man.
He's a great player, but I'm saying I don't want to get caught in that trap of
because I would say this to you, right? Riding the bench, right when you have just kept Slay. If you're going to go after Stephon Gilmore,
well, Slay was $10 million. What do you think Gilmore would be?
True, Gilmore's not going to get 10.
No, he
might
7,
something like that.
Sig Lord, what up, Sig? He says, correct. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts hold the NFL record for most consecutive games with 125 receiving yards. Not Jamar and Burrow. Not Dak and CeeDee. Not Mahomes and Reek. Boom.
Lamar Jackson.
Fucking boom, shakalaka.
A historical arm, according to John Harbaugh. Here. Let me get that exact quote. I got to make sure because this ain't Big Sills talking here. Here it is.
That's like me telling you that Nick Sirianni loves
John Harbaugh.
That is the stupidest quote I ever could have read.
Historically great passer. Quote. Not Big Sills.
Yeah, as long as it's pre-playoffs, then yeah, he's right.
Historically great passer.
Brian Pumper checks in. Philly's building an all-casserole lineup with Bader. This team sucks ass.
Come on, Pump.
I like the picture they got, Pump. I don't know about Bader yet. I didn't look into that deal yet. I was on the move today.
Hey, Pump, that looks like you're in a Hummer and you're going over to in the middle of like
that's not Pumper in that picture. That's a fake picture.
Hey, Pump, what are you doing? Like Leon putting phony pictures up there so that you look good for Joy? Come on now, Pump.
I'm not sure. Here's Fly Eagle. She says, or hey, I think it's shit, right? Yeah, that's my girl, Fly Eagle. She says, bring me a corner and a bat for the Phils. Yeah, I don't know if Hader's a bat. Is he? I don't know. I saw one.
That's right. Trading deadline today.
Look at Sig Lord. Does that Harbaugh quote come with hardware?
Come on, Sig.
Leon, I don't roast you. Leon, you won't hear me roasting you. It's everybody else.
Hey, Leon, listen, man. It's okay because I learned something about ESPN today. They like dudes with cannolis and they hate chicks in hot jeans.
By the way, you're right about that ad campaign. What are people crying
about? What are you barking about?
It's like literally, by the way, since the dawn of time, since before any of us were even around, female beauty has dominated. Okay, all right. The greatest emperors in the history, the greatest kings, they all fought over the most beautiful woman on the world. That is a supreme and an undisputable thing in life. All right.
I get it.
Female beauty wins. Okay. Beauty is powerful. It's just a fact. It's just a fact.
But dude, Okay, fair enough. Well, then why is ESPN bitching about it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know when everybody's got their panties in a bunch. A hot girl did an ad. I mean, who cares?
She's racist in jeans. I'm like, damn.
I'm like, I don't know what they come up with.
Right. And then, you're defending dudes with cannolis. I'm like, come on, man. I don't know. Punk picture is Sills at a drive-through.
Come on.
Oh, Prince. What we doing?
He says Leon looks like a nice guy in the dictionary. I don't even know what he's going for there. I think he's calling him prototypical. You know what they say, Sills, about nice guys.
Finish last.
Yeah, baby.
Show me a waiter.
Kokorski checked and he said Morgan & Morgan doesn't cover delusional plea. Sorry, Mark Holmes, not really.
I gotta tell you, man, I give it to Mark, man. He comes on every Wednesday. He's a true champ. But bro, man, that Cowboy team, they got so many issues, and the number one issue is their owner. It's the owner and the way they do business now, man. I mean, Dak's talking about wanting to win a Super Bowl. Jalen's talking about process and making sure we stay in the lane. And this guy's talking about the stupidest shit on the planet.
Dakota. Love a fired up Johnny Mac, Josh Herman says.
Hey, Josh, you know how Xander gets Johnny Mac? Hey, Johnny, what do you make of this? Do you think that this guy's this or that? I don't fucking roll down that lane like that. What do you think? That I'm a shock jock?
All you gotta say to John now is the new trigger for him, which became apparent this week on the show, was all you gotta do is question Justin Herbert, and John has an aneurysm. He does not like
he's got to win.
People who don't understand, why people question Justin.
He's got to win. I agree. He's a great talent. He's a fucking great talent. But dude, how about this? I don't mind guys losing in playoff games. You can't lose with 5 picks. You hear me? Xander, you can lose like this. You drive, remember that game between Kansas City? Was it Kansas City and Buffalo with Allen and Mahomes? They were going back and forth. That big offensive output. The defense got the ball back. Allen doesn't play offense. I mean, defense. He don't play defense. They gave it up after he drove him down and won. Come on, man.
Here we go. Jameson says, Leon head so shiny, I want to palm it.
Yeah, like a ball.
Leon, is that you in your picture, or is that a fake picture too? Is this Leon? Leon, is that you?
Like a bro.
Is that you, Leon, or is that a fake picture?
You know what that is? Can I tell you where that picture is from? That's his Tinder picture. Hey, come on, Leon. That's your Tinder picture, isn't it, man? Hey, I'm Leon.
You don't got to go on Tinder to get a chick. If you got to go on Tinder to get a honey, you got.
I really don't even know what that is. I just heard Brad Pitt say it. Hey, listen. All I know is that Leon, that looks like one of them things where, hey, I'm 6'2". I'm born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, shut up.
I drive a Kia.
You stop ripping on Leon about the car. I told you, if you want to attract a bunch of dudes, you get a nice car. It has nothing to do with your game with chicks.
No, that's right.
Doing it.
If you want to attract a lot of dudes, all you got to do is show them your fantasy football list of players, and you'll get a bunch of dudes like Ambrose and Twiz and Flex. They'll all show up.
You got to default to Tinder, though. You got bigger issues.
Oh yeah,
right?
no doubt. I'm dead.
Don't default to that. All right.
No shit.
You're better off learning some game or something. All right.
Yeah, anybody? Big Sills met his wife in a church, just so you know.
Is that's not that can't.
That's
be
not right. Yeah. No, it's my story. I'm sticking to it.
That's what Aunt Betty wants to believe.
Yeah. I love it. All right.
Look at Leon. He says, bro, that's my headshot. Leon, you're a handsome man. Don't let this chat get you down. Get out into the world. Let your nuts hang and conquer what's in front of you, my friend. The world is your oyster.
Oh,
all right? Don't let anybody bully you or push you into a box. All right?
Leon.
Come on, Leon.
Leon, man. Yeah, come on. You're too good, man. I believe you got game. I think you got some game, but it's got to improve here.
I can agree with you on that.
You don't think he's got game?
I mean, based on his comments the other day, I'm wondering if maybe he struggles in the game department.
So wait a minute, Leon. Maybe we have
Leon now. I mean, come on, man.
No, maybe we're going to have to put Leon in school of game and teach him game. Leon, first thing
Listen,
you do when you
I'm
walk,
retired from that life. I got a beautiful woman. I don't need game anymore.
you know what you do? You walk in, you sit down.
Leon says I'm rusty.
Wait a minute,
I'm
Leon.
rusty.
Leon, walk in there and walk in there like a $10 billionaire. You know what that means? You got
That's
10
what I
bucks
mean.
in your pocket.
I don't care where you are in life. Everybody should walk around.
That's
like
right.
that.
And you
That's
walk
how I
in
walk
there
around. I don't
and
give
you
a
walk
shit.
like a billionaire everywhere you go.
Nobody's
No matter
cramping
what's
my
in your
style,
pocket.
no matter where I go or what I do.
That's exactly right. You walk around like a billionaire. Any more, Z?
I think we got all the chats, brother.
All
We are now like out. We're like 500 miles deep into the ocean right now, chatting about Leon's game. I mean, I don't know how we ended up here.
That's right. See, Leon, you're part of our family here. That's what we're doing here. So, show after this show, right? First 365.
6 to 8 p.m. It'll be a nightcap edition. I'll bring some juice. Hopefully, Johnny Mac's got something for us. We'll talk about Makuba. We'll talk a little bit about Jahad Campbell lining up on the edge. I think that's a big thing. And we'll kind of run down what happened at day 6. And I'll get some answers on this offense. Big Sills likes to tell all you guys, and he's been doing it all day today, that he wants you all to believe that the offense is struggling. I'll get the truth tonight and see what's going on.
By the way, remember, I said this, ask John, situational play calling and turnovers. See if that was the story of the day today.
Yeah, I will. Eduardo says, just got out the DMV, got a new custom plate. Go Birds was taken every way you can come up with, so I made it say filthy, just like us fans. I like it. Yo, I want to get a custom plate on the vet. What should I get?
Z-Man.
All right, not bad. I want to remember that car, my ZK's Garage, for those who are following along on my channel, my auto channel, has officially reached the threshold for monetization. So I've already boosted that sucker up, man, and I thank everybody for watching. But that means the car is a write-off still. So I got to make sure that my
well, then put JAKIB on the plates.
I might put ZK's Garage. Now that's monetized.
Okay, right. Okay. Because if you put the name of the company on there too, because
hey,
you know what a lot of people do? You know that like magnet they'll put on the side of the car, and all you have to do is 6 months at the time. You have to put it on there, and there you go.
Yeah, right. Abe says gross.
Maybe you should put
Big Z for speed. Not bad. You want Big Z? I don't know, Flex. I don't know if I can put Big Z on my plate. Zan-Man, not bad. Big Z.
I like Z-Man.
ZK. I like Z-Man too. That's not bad. Sileo eyes. Big Z for Birds. Well, that's not Leon. Not your
what. You ready for
I
this?
don't know, Flex. Don't I look kind of like a douchebag? I put Big Z on my fucking plate, dude. That looks like a little cheesy to me.
So in the back of my Hummer, I got Sileo, right? My wife refuses to drive the car.
Why?
Because you're afraid of getting shot.
There you go, Prince. You know what I'm doing, Prince. You know the vibes, Prince. All right, no name. Chris says keep the regular plate.
No. You can put JAKIB on it. You should do it. What do
we
you think?
We already own JAKIB plate, the JAKIB plate in PA.
What's this, man? You know what? That's why Trump puts his name on everything. It's a brand.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I get it. I get it. I freaking get it. This guy says Z heart emoji kale. Come on, Reyes. That's a Yoda driver thing.
Man. Yoda. Oh, my
God. I love Kanga. That's not bad.
He's so feminine with his takes sometimes, man.
Yeah,
really.
he is. That's all right.
Dude, you're so feminine. I mean,
that's a lot of men in the world today. Sorry, Reyes. I'm not coming at you, silly.
I am. He's so feminine. This guy, I guarantee you, he takes Midol at night instead of ibuprofen. This guy reaches for Midol.
Is Trump about the free Diddy? That'd be wild. That would be a crazy turn of events. Diddy's gonna be coming for this chat box for defamation.
Oh, man.
All the Diddy comments we've had. I was thinking that this Bird Gang girl, ZKC8. That's pretty good, actually. That's
I like that.
All
right, Big Z. We'll catch you tonight, brother.
Come on, somebody come up with a better plate. I need a good plate idea. I'm going to order it because have you seen
post that on Twitter, by the way.
Wait, have you seen the new Pennsylvania license plate? It's actually.
Let me see it.
It's fire.
Let me
Now,
see
if you order a new plate, you get they upgrade you to this one. So this is the old one. Let me get that picture.
It's the orange and blue one, right?
Yeah, but now it's upgraded, baby. Now it's freaking upgraded. All right, ready?
Yeah, let me see it.
I'm pulling it up. Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. All right, so you
got a white vet right now, so let me see this thing.
I got a white vet. With the black top. I'm getting some new wheels on that vet soon. All right, so the bottom is what it is now. That's what the plate was. The top is the new one that they released. I love it. Let freedom ring, baby. Red, white, and blue. It's freaking fire.
And you get
if I get a custom, I'll get the top one.
Get the top one, right?
Yeah, right.
Hey, you know what, too? You know what I would do, Xander? Get a normal plate or something with your name on it, and then you get the outlier and have it with JAKIB. Like, you know how you have the frame to put the thing on the car?
Yeah.
You get a JAKIB on there with Z-Man.
That's actually not a bad idea, too. That's not a bad one. I like the new plate, though. Isn't the new plate cool with the Liberty Bell behind there?
I love the Liberty Bell behind it.
Yeah.
That's a great looking plate, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that thing, man.
All right,
Big Z, we will catch you after the program with John McMullen. Make sure you guys are tuning in for that because that's going to be spectacular. John's going to give you the latest. By the way, will Big Sills be right or will Big Sills be wrong on Johnny Mac's assessment of Jalen Hurts and the offense? What should we say? Sputtering. Is that a fair word? We shall find out. Sputtering.
What a bullshit assessment.
I'm just hearing some things out there. You know, Big Sills is hearing this and hearing that, and we'll find out. How'd the offense look today? Right out of the gate.
All right.
How'd it look?
All right. It's all right.
I know, man. You're the champs. You guys are still over there on Broad Street, hanging out there, still on the fucking back of the fucking float, throwing haymakers at one another and everything. I got it, man. I know.
All right, get me out of here. You're not rambling about nothing.
Big Z, catch you later, brother.
Later, man. Appreciate you.
Got it. Love you, man. Appreciate you being here, man. That's my boy. Make sure you guys check him out after the program here. Hit that like button. Big Sills has got to pay some bills here. For Xander and Joe, kick my ass here, okay? Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you check out our great friends at Morgan & Morgan. Got some great feedback from the folks, and they love all of you being part of the program here. With over $30 billion recovered, they are the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason, because they win. Over $30 billion in recovery. Folks, nobody protects families across this great country of ours than what Morgan & Morgan does. I've known the Morgans for over 25 years, and that company was built with family in mind. Do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/big sills or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sills or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Sales, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. We will have Jason Cole, one of the Hall of Fame voters. Tonight's the Hall of Fame game, Lions and Chargers. We will talk with him on the induction of Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp. Ended up going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Hey, one more thing on this thing with Shannon Sharp here. Like I said, so Shannon Sharp thought he would respond to him being fired by ESPN for getting his ass kicked once a week by his gumad. And, again, cost him $23 million to get his ass kicked. And, I guess they were putting a freak show on with, I don't really know. So why would you spend $23 million to get your ass kicked? What's it, the only things? This chick, he met her. You're Shannon Sharp. Do you really have to go to Tinder? I don't know. So what is that? $23 million to go away? So ESPN and the great wisdom that they have, it took him all this time to figure out he was a freak. So you talk about it. Hey, I've blown up my career numerous times. This guy blew up a $100 million contract and a contract with ESPN. This guy put in the garbage can $125 million and lit it on fire for a chick to kick his ass once a week at the Waldorf Astoria. I don't know. They talk about decision-making, and his comments he made today were, I didn't really want to comment on it because my brother's weekend is this weekend. Hey, homie, that's got nothing to do with you, your brother being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame because you want to walk around like you're a freak show. Hey, by the way, more power to you. If that's your deal, all good. That's not my business, really. I think it's funny because that's the same guy. Listen, I don't mind you throwing shade at people. Trump being an asshole, Sleepy Joe, all that. I don't mind it. But when you're doing the same shit that Trump's doing, and then you have an opinion on that, who are you? Right? Look, if you're going to have a strong opinion on somebody, make sure you're not the same character of that person and casting aspersions on someone that could come back on you where someone goes, you're a fucking hypocrite. What? And you're in sports talk? How are you in sports talk or any kind of talk commenting on someone else when you have the same character as the next guy that you're talking about? That's called an elite mentality that they think they're better than you in life. I don't think I'm better than anybody. Shit, like I told you before, my politics, my old lady's 10 times right. Hey, don't give anybody your political opinion. Nobody cares about that. They barely care about your sports takes. It's so dead true. But it comes to people like Robert De Niro talking about Trump or whomever. Didn't you see it this past year? No one gave a shit. Oprah Winfrey. And all these like celebrities. Nobody cares. I'll tell you one more time, though. Let me say this to you. Pat McAfee becomes even bigger now at ESPN. Because you know what they wanted? They wanted to have two versions of this. Pat White, and they wanted to have Shannon Black on that network so they can have opposing views. Because they hate Pat McAfee. I've talked to Pat about, they hate him. He hates them too. You know, the only reason he's there is because it's $17 million and he's the biggest and highest rated show with more advertisers and more people watch that show than any other show outside of Major League Baseball, the NFL, and college football. And now the WNBA. He gets 1 million views a day. More people watch that show than, it's the most watched sports show in America right now. They hate him, though. Why? Pat McAfee's doing shit today that I did 25 years ago. People are just catching up with me now. That's why, again, the phone's kind of ringing again. It's because, wait a minute, Sileo's been doing this shit. Yeah, I know. It's all good. The shit that they say on ESPN on that show, I've never said. Oh, and for the record, on ESPN, so since when is a chick in denim jeans a bad thing? How is that a bad thing? Because she's white? And then they went after Hogan. So here, let me give you this. So what's the guy's name who went after Hogan? What's the guy's name? Did I break that guy's name down? He got like this. Hulk Hogan's a racist because of what he said. Called Hulkster a racist. Okay. What did he say? That he didn't like the fact that his daughter was dating a black guy, right? And he used the N-word. Is that right? Okay. So this guy said his history is not hard to figure out, that Hogan's a racist. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think people can make mistakes? And do you think people can be forgiven for it? Joe Biden did the eulogy of a Klan member that was a senator by the name of Senator Byrd. He did a eulogy for a guy who was the Grand Wizard in South Carolina. Nobody had a problem with that. Joe Biden did a eulogy for the Grand Wizard, Senator Byrd. And you got, what's his name? Howard Stern doing blackface. And now all of a sudden, he's supposedly a liberal guy on a white horse telling everybody that everyone sucks who's a conservative. And that guy made a living and a reputation out of being one of the most racist guys there is in the history of radio. I listened to it as a kid growing up. I couldn't believe it. Now all of a sudden you erase that shit and he's a white knight. Really? How come we pick and choose? So we're picking and choosing here. Is that correct? They get a pass. Jimmy Kimmel is talking about LeBron James like this. He did that. He did a skit. You know what that means? I made a mistake with a comment I made. This guy went with producers, sat down, and they orchestrated a skit with props and did this. And you forgive Jimmy Kimmel. Okay? Then Jimmy Kimmel is now going around telling you how racist everybody is. And get this, Jimmy Kimmel tells you that if you support Trump, you're a racist, and yet you're doing blackface and you're demeaning a kid with big lips and doing a skit, and that's fucking cool? How's that right? And he's trying to tell me, anybody who supports that, and he's doing a skit demeaning black guys and a black basketball player because they can't talk right because they got big lips. Look at the skit. It's easy to watch. You can Google it. That's cool? Holy shit. Honest to God, man. People today, they pick and choose what they want to hear. And one more time, I'll say it again. Somebody asked me the other day in Tampa, newspaper, most controversial radio host, according to Wall Street Journal and what was it? The USA Today, me. I said, I am not the most controversial radio host of all time. I am not. That is not true. They said, well, the Wall Street Journal called you that. So the New York Times and all these people. I said, let me tell you what that means to me. More people in life would rather be fucking lied to than told the truth to. The truth is something that's sharp. People love being lied to. It's easier to do. And that's, I try to tell my truth. Doesn't mean it's right. Okay? I mean, I never said that I have the wisdom and I know the wisdom of life. Are you kidding me? I trip through life every fucking day. See my fucking toe. I hit it on the steps the other day. My toe flew 50 feet in the air. My fucking toe is killing me, and I'm in a bad mood because my toe's been bleeding. My wife goes, you want a Band-Aid? No, I don't want nothing. I want to suffer. Ridiculous. Bunch of pansy asses, as far as I'm concerned. Chicks in jeans. She's a racist. Man, isn't it true? A picture in life tells more. Like, the greatest picture in sports history is John Carlos and Tommy Smith on the podium. It's the most significant sports picture I've ever seen. And I know those men. I know John Carlos. I know Tommy Smith. I know Tommy Smith way better. And Tommy Smith, you ever look at the picture and what it means? The beads around the neck, the bare feet, the hands in the air. They just see two black guys protesting at the Olympics. Poverty, segregation, hunger, all was represented in that picture if you looked at it enough. It's the greatest picture in the history of sports. You know, Jackie Robinson crossing the color line 47 was important. The basketball game at Cole Fieldhouse between the University of Texas El Paso, Texas Western, and Kentucky. And then that in 68 Olympics down in Mexico City. When those guys did that was by far some of the most important times of our life. And pictures, they're all. How about Foreman going around the ring 2 days later after Smith and John Carlos did that? George Foreman, who's been on this program, told you that he wanted to try to calm America down by putting the American flag up. You know what they called him? An Uncle Tom. George Foreman, who's from the 5th Ward in Houston. An Uncle Tom? Yeah, no, that's not working. That's not working. George Foreman was one of the most important men in the history of sports. Truly a great American. And I love the fact that he was a friend of mine. Okay? All right, guys. So, I mean, you're watching ESPN implode is remarkably beautiful to watch. It's self-inflicted. Take it from a guy who self-inflicts his own career. It's beautiful to watch. Sills Hogan also said he's a racist. However, I believe he changed. He talked about finding Christ and how it changed his life. So believe he repented, and I truly hope he found Christ. Samuel, admitting you're a racist and then changing. Here, can you do that? I think in your own mind you can. I would say this. Hulk Hogan's biggest problems were not that he said he was a racist. His biggest problem was he left this earth with his daughter and him not loving one another. Tell you what, man, I have back and forth with my kid. But you know what? I can always tell you one thing is for sure. One thing, someone would say to me, Dan, what's the number one thing you know that's a certainty? My daughter's love. I know for certainty my daughter's love. She may bitch at me and tell me I'm stupid or this and that, what have you, but I never question that. And boy, if I left the earth with that, boy, that's something I wouldn't want to. And I'm sorry for Hogan that guy's got to leave the earth, never having had the balls to take a knee and go over to his daughter and say, hey, I'm sorry, I love you. She would have forgave him. They're blood. Can't have it, dude. All the bullshit that I've done in my life, and I've done a ton of things that are wonderful. I've traveled everywhere around the world. I've been everywhere. I've wrestling and football, baseball, all that shit. Man, if I left this world and my kid hated my guts, my life was for losers. There's nothing I do now or nothing I've done that even remotely comes close to it. Seeing my kid born and watching my kid perform now and play is fucking a highlight of my life. I mean, I don't like leaving my house. It's the only thing I leave my house for. I mean, really, I don't leave my house for anything. All right, enough of that. I'm starting to get wormy. All right, hit the like button. I appreciate you guys. Jason Cole's going to join us, by the way, at 5:30 Eastern, Hall of Fame. All right. So, how about Jaden Daniels? Get this here. Night and day. This is for Big Z. Jaden Daniels. Night and day on how good I'm going to be this year. My game right now, it's night and day. Wow. The best quarterback in the NFC East says his game is going to be even better than that historic rookie year. Damn. That's what I'm talking about. That's leadership. That's getting it right. Unbelievable. Here, direct quote. Night and day. He's where my game is in my second year. Damn. Man, I dig that. I love that player. I love that player's journey. He went to Arizona State and he had to transfer. And you heard Herm Edwards on this program numerous times compare him to Randall Cunningham. And when you're being compared to Randall Cunningham, minus the attitude, there's no question about it that you're talking about players that, again, had a journey understanding where they were. You have to go there. You have to go into the coach's office and do this. Coach, he's in tears. Okay? Get this. Of course you do, bro. You're just hoping for it. I don't hope for any of the Eagle guys to have regression. This guy's praying as a strategy that Jaden Daniels has a step back year. Yeah, but what's this? Not Zach Bond, not Q. Hey, M. Reyes, if the quarterback Jaden Daniels is going to have a step back, then you're assuming second year receivers are going to know a little more about Q and about Cooper. So those guys are expected to have step backs too, right? Sauce Gardner did in his second year. Get this. He's worried about Jaden Daniels having to step back, but I'm 0% worried about the commies. They're trash. They're not quarterback skills. Really? Really? But they're not quarterbacks. I don't think CJ Stroud had any step back last year. I don't think he took a step back at all. I think the league caught up a little more. He still put the team in the playoffs 2 years in a row as a rookie quarterback. As a rookie starting quarterback, he's put the Texans, coming out of the Deshaun Watson era, he's put them in the playoffs. I don't know. He's done more than Dak. Get this. He's done more than Dak has done in the 2 years that Dak – look at Dak's first 2 years. I don't think the kid took a step back. I think they realized and how good he is. He's a good football player. He's a great player. When someone calls you and apologizes and you ignore him, it shows how weak you are mentally. I heard that Hogan, or that the daughter called and wanted to invite him to like the wedding or something, and Hogan didn't want to go. I guess she's married to like a hockey guy now, Brooke. I've met Brooke numerous times when I was in Tampa. Fine girl, really good. The kid Nick's kind of a dick. And I remember being on the air in Tampa when I believe he killed somebody. And, you know, I remember Nick called my program because he used to listen to my show in Tampa all the time. And I go like this, you're a danger to a community when you're driving drunk, and you are. He goes, it was an accident. I go, accident? You killed someone, dude. You got to pay the price for that. He didn't like that. I said, well, I don't give a shit. Hogan and them guys got all that mad at me. He was friends with Bubba the Love Sponge, this guy back in the day. And I'm like, yeah, no. And so the kid's kind of a dick. The daughter's not. The daughter tried, I think she was trying to become a musician. Here's something just so you guys know that a lot of people don't know. So over in Tampa, there's a place on Gandy called iHeart. And what they do is that all these places, they have these studios, and what you do is you have all of these potential acts that could be like somebody that iHeart might want to invest in. This is kind of like Justin Bieber did this shit with his mom back in the day. What they would do is they would come into the iHeart studio, and Brooke came in and she sang for us. I think the mother was there. I don't remember. I think the Hulk may have been there. I don't remember, but I remember watching her. So we all went in there. It's this big studio we have, and all the places around, like Odyssey does this too. Like here in San Diego, they got like a studio there where they bring new acts in, and you get a chance to sit there and watch them perform. Maybe they're going to be somebody, or maybe that's who they want to invest in. So Brooke had a chance, and I remember her singing. She tried to become like, I think, a country singer or something. I think she's happy with what she does. I think she's got a kid now. The guy was trying to communicate with Hogan the whole time. And I guess Hogan, I don't know. That's a damn thing. That's a sad thing. Okay. All right. Anyway. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Okay. So the players spoke. Some of the guys spoke. Dallas Goedert. That kid Munden spoke. Anybody else I got on here? No. So let me go a little bit of what Dallas Goedert. And remember when Xander's doing the show after me, Dallas Goedert was asked a question today about the offense. He goes, yeah, we're working on a lot of new things, and things look a little bit offset right now. Here's the word. Okay? We're working on being cohesive. And here's the other thing. We have to limit mistakes. Why would you be making mistakes in training camp? Let me guess. You're working on the passing game. That was 30th in the NFL last year. Huh. Okay. Well, you don't have to worry about the run game. They are now working on all and they're struggling. No, wait, I'll take that back. Because it's only 10 days. It's early. I love this. It's early. So they're working on the passing game and struggling. Gee, what an epiphany. Working with the passing game. Won the Super Bowl with. No, you won it with your running game. You got to the Super Bowl with your running game, not your passing game. Let's get that shit right. Stills night and day with Wash Debo. Who's Keely Ringo? Watch every guy you say, Wash Debo and nobody Ringo. Unpaid Terry, who's one of the top 10 receivers in the league. We'll see. You're right. We will. Keely nobody and Wash Debo. What a great battle. Catch it. Week 16 NFL. How you doing? Right? Talked about Jahad Campbell and him getting into confrontation there in camp here, Dallas Goedert and him. I like that shit. He made a great point. Remember this, folks. I would rather pull a dude off the ledge than push him to it. And for the record, you ain't going to win championships with choir boys. You don't win championships with choir boys. You win championships with MFers. People that take no shit. I'll tell you, one of the things I love playing with the most is the attitude that we had when we were at the U. And I'll promise you that there's no coincidence that attitude was taken to Dallas by Jimmy Johnson. Every time we stepped on the field, you knew we were going to get your ass kicked. Every time. There's a reason that my team is the most remembered team in the history of American sports. Not because we won a ton of championships. It's because we were motherfuckers. I mean, plain and simple. Just no way around it. Take a look at that Sports Illustrated list. The Philadelphia Flyers, the Detroit Pistons, some of the baddest teams of all times. My team's number one. Why? Because we changed the game. Eagles proved being the 30th passing and winning up. That's right. Nobody's saying that you didn't have a great running attack. Lamar, I'm not sure what you're saying here. Right. You had a horrible passing attack last year during the season, and you had a great running attack. Correct. Congratulations. Okay. And now you're struggling in camp, throwing the ball. I mean, you struggled last year throwing the ball, and now you're struggling in camp. Gee, maybe there's a coincidence? And that Super Bowl was a one-off? I don't know. Hey, it's early, though. It's just been all camp. But, hey, it's early. I get it. I'm with you. No concern. It's only July the 31st. July the 31st. Sills, could it be that the Titans and Giants used the Dory wrong when he fits the profile for what Vic looks like? I don't think he fits the profile. Well, wait, I'll take that back. I think Howie thinks he fits the profile that Vic wants. Vic didn't sound like he knew what the player was and who the player is. Listening to Vic, it doesn't sound like to me He knew who the guy was. I don't know. Right? I mean, can you finish the comment? You missed my bold prediction. Repost it again here, Samuel. I'll read it here. All right. Vic don't sound like he likes two dudes. Makuba and Adoree. I'm going to ask you this one more time. See, people in Philly ain't going to ask this question. You think Vic's demeanor is starting to wear on Howie? Do you? Let me give you the instances. Okay? Let me give you the instances. So let's go back to last year. Devin White. Howie gave the guy $3 million. Vic's like, yeah, no. Check. Bryce Huff. I never saw a guy beat up more in a press conference in my life. We were all commenting him when he went like this. You tell me if you think this coach likes this player. So this is what he said about Bryce Huff, who Howie gave $17.5 million to. You tell me if you think this D coordinator liked him. Yeah, well, he's learning. Yeah, well, he has to learn how to be a stouter at setting the edge. Yeah, he's coming along. Yeah, he's coming along. I don't know about you. You paid $17.5 million to a guy who's coming along, and he's 5 years in the NFL. There might be a problem with that. And then before you know it, he was benched for Brandon Graham. That's right, Abe. Shit, the first press conference, how he started talking. Vic Fangio started talking shit on the player that he wasn't a 3-down guy. You know what, quite frankly? That's how actually Zach Bond got into the starting rotation, was because Huff sucked. So hey, he's like, this guy here, yeah, he's coming along. So, hey, do you not agree that Vic Fangio hated this guy from day one and how he gave him 17.5? So there's $20 million. I got another one for you. You know, I didn't bring this up with Xander. Will someone answer this question? So help me out on this. This is why Sills is Sills. Xander, everyone. Is it possible that Fangio had no intention of ever putting James Bradbury on the fucking field? How he paid him. He never saw the field. He didn't play a fucking down. And he was healthy. I don't even think he was active. Why'd you keep him on the roster? Why'd you keep him on the roster? It's $11.2 million. Why'd you keep him on the roster? Any answer? Mentoring and money. This guy thinks he kept a school teacher on a football team. I'm not asking you that. That's not the question. The question is, do you think this attitude will start wearing on Howie? John Tortorella's got a lifeline too. I'm not talking about that. Answer the question. Why did Vic not play him? He was on the team. Nobody's debating that. I am talking about a relationship between the coordinator and the GM, you dick. Why did Bradbury stay on? Bradbury was healthy. Howie said, I'm paying him. Vic said, I'm not playing the bum. Thank you. There you go. So, Devin White, Bryce Huff, and James Bradbury's on the team. Okay? Bro, he was able to play. That's a lie. I mean, so they paid him. Vic didn't play him. James Bradbury. Example number 3. Bryce Huff. Example number 2. What's more likely? Hurts 22 or Barkley 24? Great topic. Let me get to that. Like it. Thank you for the super. Get this. Reaching, I asked you a question. And now he's saying he hates Adoree Jackson. That ain't a reach. Got Adoree Jackson. And he's ripping Makuba. So here's Vic's laundry list of talking shit on players how he's put on the team. Bryce Huff, Devin White, Adoree Jackson, and Makuba. I mean, CJ too. Yeah, that was a salary cap thing. Howie did that. It's okay. Don't worry. We'll move on. I think Vic knows they haven't moved on. Hey, Vic, you haven't moved on. You don't have a better safety than what Gardner Johnson. He's not. Reed Blankenship's not even better. Holy cow. So I got CJ, Bryce, Bradbury, Adoree, and Makuba. So I'll ask you again. You think he's going to wear that relationship out? Like people said, Doug Peterson did to a lesser extent. Because how he drafts a profile. And I'll tell you why he drafted him. He sees in Jahad Campbell what Vic created in Zach Bond. That's why. By the way, again, Vic doesn't look at the back of the names of the jerseys and see what the name is. How he brings guys on that fit Vic's profile. Versatile, being able to play multiple positions, and zone. He'll find the players. No matter what Vic wants. Hey, you doing? Oh, I know. He's going to tell Howie to sit his little ass down over there in the corner. And I'm going to play the people I want to play. James Bradbury, you want to pay him? Go right ahead. I ain't playing that. I ain't playing that hump. You want to pay Bryce Huff? I ain't playing that hump. You go ahead and pay him, but I ain't playing him. Hey, you want to start? And then get this. And then he's like the same thing with Reddick. He goes, hey, takes Reddick off the team. There's not a chance he brought that up with Vic Fangio. He just did that. Howie will tolerate Vic because they love his scheme. Correct. I agree with that. I agree. I do. See, James. Absolutely. Look at this dickhead. Finals say Fangio ain't playing your buddy Adoree either. My buddy? He didn't even want him on the fucking team. Howie put him there. My buddy? Who said I thought he was good? I don't think you really have a corner over there. You guys do. Vic don't seem to think you even have a safety in the building yet. Said Sydney's doing well. We'll see. Ain't playing your buddy Adoree? Who said I thought he was good? I never said he was good. Who said I think Ringo's good? I think he does beat him out. You get one bad guy versus another bad guy. You're going to play the lesser of the bad guys. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Congratulations, Arthur. You figured it out. Holy shit. Honestly, man, I can't believe you could follow along like that. It's quite remarkable that you could follow along that diligently, especially when we're talking about football here. It's quite shocking. Football, you know? You play the best guy for the position. It's okay, Arthur. Just sit back and relax. Or better yet, go sit at the sippy table. You know, go to sit at the little kiddie table. There's a sippy cup on the table. You know the little chairs, again, that you get to swing your feet? And the big boy table sits over here. You go sit at the little kiddie table. We're going to have the big deal, and they'll bring you over your macaroni and cheese and like your biscuits a little bit later on. Okay, honey? And again, be all good. Everybody will be there for you. Don't worry about it. And then you can get your whoopee and lay down later on. You're binky. This is the adults table over here when we're talking real ball. And that's a little kiddie table. It's okay. All right? It's okay. Here, look at this. Never. Corona and Crow for you tonight, Sills. Corona and Crow. So I'm going to be eating Crow and drinking Coronas. Well, I'll be doing one of those. Okay? I'll be doing one of those. By the way, I tell you, one of the greatest things about my wife's and I relationship, we drink Coronas together, we have a fun time together, and we sleep in separate beds. How you doing? Because I need to stretch out. Okay? You want to play the game for 40 years? That's how Big Cells does it. I need my room. I need to, because I roll too much. And after an accident like I had the other night where I broke my toenail, believe me, blood everywhere. I was embarrassed. My cats and my dogs were like, "What are you doing at 2:30 in the morning?" See, my wife ain't going there with that. Let's see here. The only half of the comment, I think JD5 is great. He'll have an all-pro year this year, and it will make even better when we sweep them. Wow, you're going to sweep the Commanders. So wait, one more time here. Let me ask you here. Okay? Do you believe that will wear on? By the way, Marcus Hayes says hi, watching the show. Love it. Thank you, Marcus, from the Philadelphia Inquirer. So, do you think that relationship is starting to, give me the relationship, give me one word, the relationship between Vic Fangio and Howie Roseman. Give me one word. One word. I'm trying to think of a word. Testing? Strained. Collaborative. Holy shit, Arthur. Arthur, come sit at the big table. You can get off the sippy cup. Professional. Okay? A pain in the ass. By the way, Kyle, just so you know, I asked my wife the other day, who's the biggest son of a bitch she's ever met. She goes, me. So just so you know. It's all done with love, though. I think. I can't even ask that question any longer. Do you love me? Shut up. You can't even ask that question. She looks at me. She goes, really? Come on now. Effective. Let's see here. Solid. Let me think of a word. How about testing? How about testing? Sil should narrate textbooks for a living. Hey, Hoss, I'll tell you what, man. You put a book in front of me and let me dissect that book, okay? You'll have a whole different impression of Old Man in the Sea. I'll give you, for whom the bell tolls, you'll have a whole different idea of what I think of whom the bell tolls. Or Old Man in the Sea, trust me. I'll give you a great insight of what I think that maniac Hemingway was thinking if I had to narrate those two books. But you don't think I know Hemingway, of course. I've actually been to Hemingway's house. Actually, my family's been to Hemingway's house. It's in the Keys. Let's see here. Let's go here. So let me think of a word. How long do you think Vic Fangio will be the coordinator here in Philly? Actually, I was reading him to your girlfriend, M. Reyes. I was reading Fabio romance novels to your chick the other night. Tell her to come by and pick her shoes up. She forgot them. Let me think. Let me think. How long do you think Vic Fangio will last here? Let me see. 2027. Until he retires. Okay. Seals, don't you think it's more strange because they are both used to having the final say? Ooh. I like that take. Huh. Jason Cole, by the way, bottom of the hour. We'll talk to our friend. Hall of Fame voter. Hall of Fame game tonight. Sills would create his own narrative. Jay Gatsby died because he didn't have enough help around him. Unbelievable that you're that intelligent. You shock me. Truly amazing that you even know that. Family live in Delaware Valley. Oh, I did not know that. I say this. Vic Fangio and the Howie Roseman relationship versus the Nick and Howie Roseman relationship. Could Vic ever be used as an scapegoat if that defense takes a shit this year? And all of a sudden doesn't perform well because of the stuff that's been going on when it comes to personnel being added to the team? How fast could that relationship turn? I don't think it could ever turn. You delivered a Super Bowl. I don't believe you could turn that relationship. They fired Doug, though. Hey, if they could fire Doug Peterson, they could fire Vic Fangio. Nobody's safe in that building. They fired Andy Reid. I mean, you're just coming up with negative shit all the time. No, I'm asking you a question about, what, are you under the impression Vic's happy with some of the players that are on the team? He don't sound it. What are you hearing? Dude, what are you hearing about his what are you hearing about him liking Adoree that I missed? Or the shit that he talked to Bakuba? What did I miss? Where those guys were glazing. I'll tell you this, he talks more about Tristan McCullum than he does about Makuba. I don't really think he thinks high of that guy, and that guy is a small dude. I don't believe he thinks that Makuba fits his system, and I don't know if he thinks of Adoree Jackson. I think that's why he likes Keely Ringo out there more. No shit, dickhead. And so can Vic get himself fired. Duh. It's what I'm asking you. Try using your ears. Damn, dude. You can't stay on track. It's like impossible. Seals, do you think Nick plays the middleman? Yes. You know what, dude? That's another great take by you, Samuel. Maybe what that is that's really the importance of Vic, is that Nick is the balance between the coaching staff and the coordinators and the front office, and truly what his value is. You may have just found the job that I think he has. Absolutely. All right. A day like this, Jason Cole is so awesome. Not that he's not every other time he comes on the program, because he is. But it's Hall of Fame. And I believe there's 300 and is it 21 Hall of Famers that are in there now? Is that the it's like, right? It's something around that number. That's the one. Jason Cole is responsible for the 1% of the 1%ers that play in our league. Jason's part of our league. Okay, so he's been passionate about our league all these years, and he's part of our league. He's the guy, he's one of the caretakers of the museum. Do you understand that? Jason Cole is one of the caretakers of the museum. You know that movie, The Caretaker, guys? They're out there, you know, they take care of the museum. And they put the dudes in the museum that, again, a tough task. So let's get to our friend, Jason Cole, Hall of Fame voter, one of the 50 men that makes those selections. What does the Hall of Fame mean to you, Jason?
It's a good question. I think it's emblematic of the people who are, I don't want to say the most passionate, because there are a lot of guys who are passionate who don't make it. But you don't get there without some kind of special quality, some kind of special perseverance, and some kind of something special that is inside of you that goes beyond your pure talent. Because you and I both know, I say this about basketball all the time, there's a million dudes out there who are roaming playgrounds who probably could have made the NBA. There are millions of guys out there who are roaming fields who probably could have played in the NFL, but didn't have the mental desire that it takes to get there. And it takes a lot. It takes a pain threshold. It takes a desire. It takes a competitiveness. It takes all sorts of things, willingness to put your job on the line year after year, because very few people understand, like, there's no guarantees in this game. So for guys to do that, I mean, you're talking about guys who are completely completely bought in to what they're trying to accomplish. They've thrown themselves at this sport.
How about this, Jace? Let me get to some of the guys you guys are inducting. Sterling Sharp goes in, Jared Allen goes in, Eric Allen goes in, and Antonio Gates goes in. And his story is pretty crazy because he didn't even really play college football. He was a college hoop player that Marty Schottenheimer found. And that really became that new wave with the Jimmy Grahams and the Tony Gonzalez's of the world and all that. And so we'll talk about him, but I want to get another sense of the process again. Jared Allen goes in, truly a great player, a great football player with the Minnesota Vikings. What separates him and his 3 sacks from a guy like Leslie O'Neal, who only had 2 sacks less than him, more Pro Bowls than what he had. What separates him, in your opinion, where that guy gets in and you guys don't look at Leslie O'Neal? Now, you have before looked at him, but he doesn't get in. What's the metric on not putting and how you differentiate between the two?
I think it's more of an eyeball test. Like when I watched Leslie O'Neal, he was, I thought, very good.
Well, hopefully we're able to catch up with him again here and we get Jason on, because there is. Because what I'm going to do is I'm also going to ask about Fletcher Cox. Okay, Fletcher Cox, Adama Sue, and Aaron Donald. Okay, those are the preeminent defensive tackles. And what I'm going to do here, guys, is that I'm going to make a case over the next couple years here for Fletcher Cox to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I've been thinking about this. Do I think Fletcher Cox is a Pro Football Hall of Famer? I do. Because people have been telling me that Adama Sue is. And so where I'm going with Jason here is, Jace, you were saying, and you were going down the line here where you were going, Jared Allen is a really good football player, but he's kind of in the room of really good, and Jared Allen with the eyeball test is more of in the room of this guy was one of the more dominant guys during his era. Is that where you're going with it?
Yeah, I mean, again, I saw Leslie play a lot, and I thought, yeah, really great football player. Don't get me wrong, but when I saw Jared Allen, I thought this is a different level of special. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is a different level of a dude who is electric as a pass rusher, who could take over games, who is a game wrecker, if that makes sense. And I never really got that feeling from Leslie O'Neal. And you know, we're splitting hairs because there's going to be somebody. There's going to be people out there who are going to take that statement and they're going to say, "Oh, he did this and he did that, and you're wrong." And you're okay. That's fair. I mean, I got a right to be wrong, just like everybody else got a right to be wrong. So, but that's my perception when I think about those two. It's just not. There is something that differentiates the really, truly, truly special. And I will say this: I think there have been moments when we have put in guys who are not necessarily, to the standard that I'm talking about. But I felt that way and somebody else disagreed with me. So again, there's 50 people, who vote on this thing. We all have different standards and different weights and different measures that we put on this. And we're trying to find the best guys. And it's freaking hard, man. It's freaking hard.
It's becoming harder. It's getting harder, right?
Yeah. Yeah. With the number, look, we talked about this a few weeks ago. The numbers game that we're playing with having a limited number, having 7 guys in the final vote and those guys having to get to 80%. I really do think that the Pro Football Hall of Fame is going to find out that more often than not, they're only going to have 3 guys make it in the modern class.
Is
and
this
if you only
what Dion said a couple years ago about
a little bit, yeah,
starting to put more guys in that potentially maybe are in the land of what you just said about Leslie, that, Fred Dean,
I like Fred Dean as a player. I get what you're saying, right? Like, I get it. I think that the one thing that was the tipping point in this whole argument about, guys who were just average getting in was the blue ribbon class that they did back in 2020. Now those guys went in 2021. But and I know this is a Philly-based thing, but like Harold Carmichael, no. Like I didn't believe Harold Carmichael was a Hall of Famer.
I don't believe Drew Pearson is either.
Right. I didn't think Drew Pearson belonged. There was Chuck Howley, who I was just like, I don't see it. But again, that's my opinion. But I think we stuffed a lot of guys in. So everybody's looking around saying, this guy made it. And there was a big rush. Like when you put 20 guys in that blue ribbon class all at one time, everybody's looking around going, I thought this was supposed to be truly special. And that fed Dion's argument, but I don't think it applies to the modern guys. I think that the modern guys, live up to that standard when we're only putting in 5 guys a year. It's the senior guys that I think are real. That's the senior process is the one that I have the most problem with, because guys had 20 years to make it. They didn't make it. And I'm sorry, but there's just a line you got to draw. And that's where I think this thing went awry the most, and where that fed this argument about, there should be less guys that get in. And we're going to do this thing for probably 2, 3, maybe 4 years. And we're going to get back to a point where it's like we're holding back a lot of really great football players.
Yep, absolutely. Jason, let me go here and let me ask you this is a tough situation here. And let me ask you about a tough topic here. Obviously, what happened at the NFL offices in Park Avenue was an absolute tragedy. I mean, I believe that I think this guy was trying to go up there to the NFL offices. God knows. I mean, the people that passed away, I mean, that's already horrific, but I mean, there could have been major carnage up there in that NFL offices. The commissioner was in the building at the time as well. So I text Brian McCarthy. They're pretty shaken up there. He's the head of all PR around the league. This is where you and I get credentialed and all that. I mean, they're really shaken up. They let them have the week off. What do you think it's going to be like getting into football games this coming season? You think there's going to be a higher sense of security now because of what that looks like now? Do you think, again, that the NFL is going to be more due diligent? How do you think that affects, in your opinion, what happened this past week?
Like, I think it puts people on higher alert, but games were already pretty secure. I don't think the games are necessarily the problems. I think they're open practices. At this time of the year, people start to pay attention to that. I certainly think that the NFL office is going to sit there and say to the people who run that building, hey, we need to amp up security here. This is not just an office building. We're now a target. You're a target of a crazy person who believes they had CTE. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. They certainly believe that they did. They were obviously going through some serious trauma. That's an intellectual way of talking about it. There is a real life side of this that, people are in fear. People are scared to go to work, and people shouldn't feel scared to go to work. This is sadly the America that we live in, where people who are mentally ill and probably shouldn't have guns are getting access to guns. And there's got to be a way to figure that out. I'm a big supporter, that people should have the freedom to buy guns.
Me too. I'm the same with you.
I don't own a gun. I'm not taking the guns. Right. But I certainly don't want to take away anybody's right. But like when one person is selling a gun to another person, which is what happened in the story, a private citizen sells to another private citizen, you kind of sit there and go, they should have a right to sell their gun. It's a piece of property, but shouldn't there be like
more hoops?
Shouldn't there be more hoops before that guy gets the guy who's buying it gets all of it? Like, shouldn't we like be figuring out, does this guy have all of his capacities mentally? That's, and again, and I come back to training and also all sorts of other things that I'm very much in favor of. Bottom line is, a crazy person got a gun and they killed a lot of people, and now the people who work in that building are in probably desperate fear of going back to work, and that's sad, and that deserves real discussion and not simply politics.
How about this? I talked to Chuck Todd the other day. Me and him are very good friends, just like you and I are. We have difference in political opinions and such.
Sure.
You know what? I've been friends with him for over 35 years. And I asked him, and I'll ask you, as a sports writer, the rhetoric that we have that's in our country today, you think that amps that up where you got more people that are more crazies that will be more emboldened to do something like that? Because again, like you said, we're talking about the 1% of the world that's a psycho like that. And there's no party that's involved.
Well, it's probably
the rhetoric is.
Yeah, it's a 0.01 or 0.001% of the population. So
but it inspires that 01.
I guess what I'm saying is that generally in the world today, there's a lot of people out there who are pissed off, and they're on Twitter, and they're finding friends that make them feel more pissed off. And Twitter is a terrible place if you're pissed off to begin with.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to put it down to Democrats versus Republicans, because that's too simplistic. It's indicative of sort of the level of stupidity and arguments that we have, right? Like,
yeah.
Are we really pointing fingers and saying that, oh, these people are the ones responsible, for this, and whether it's Republicans or Democrats? It's like, no, there's some very serious issues we have to fix. And as soon as we stop putting down the rhetoric and pointing fingers at each other, then we might actually solve it. I'll be dead before that happens.
Hey, I am totally with you on this. I got to bring a point up here. I want to throw a couple football ones here, Jace. So I had a conversation the other day with Lomas Brown as part of the broadcast team for the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
And he said this to me about Jared Goff. He said, and I've always been kind of perplexed on him. What kind of player is he? He goes, think about this. He has been with two savants, Sean McVay and now Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson, yep.
These two guys, he goes, and Lomas, you'll love Lomas, Florida guy. He goes like this. I had to look the word savant up. He goes, and when I looked,
of course, you went to UM.
Yeah, right. Well, I was like, this guy, can you spell it? He goes, no. I'm like, well, I'm with you. We're good. And he goes, Dan, this guy, Ben Johnson, man, he's going to have a massive impact on Caleb Williams. Are you expecting the Bears, in your opinion, with all the moves they made? And I'll get back to Jared in a minute. Are you expecting the Bears and Caleb Williams to have one of those breakout years? Could you see that team with the schedule they had? Could you see that team fighting it out in the NFC North?
Did he bring 4 of the linemen with him?
No, we're trying to beat.
Did he get Gibbs? Did he get like one of the wide receivers? Like,
yeah, I'm not saying Brown. No,
did he get the tight end? Did he get
What, you don't like DK Moore?
Hey, look, I think that Ben Johnson's a terrific coach, and he's got a lot of ideas, and he does some special things, right? So I give him credit, but you got to fix something that's really difficult to fix in Jared Goff, and not Jared Goff, but in
Caleb Williams.
And Caleb Williams. And you got to get rid of the ball. You got to stop running around thinking that this is hero ball on every play. And the single hardest thing for a guy to do is to trust that what he sees and just get rid of it. But this game is built on get the ball out of your hands. Even for the guys who are the great runners, they're guys who are awesome at this. Get the ball out of your hands. That's what you got to do. That's how this game is most effective. And stop killing your offensive linemen and forcing them to block for 8, 9, 10 seconds. That doesn't work. I don't know. And also I'll say this. I don't know that kid is built for failure in Chicago.
Touche, I'll tell you, man.
Oh, there's a lot. Let's just say this. I know he's from Washington, D.C. There's a lot of SoCal in that kid.
Oh, absolutely. Here, let me get back on.
And I say that as a SoCal guy.
I get it. You're more laid back, and you see surfboards, and you see hula girls. I got it. That ain't a whole little different.
Surfboards and pretty girls, and all of a sudden you start painting your nails and crying at the end of games, and refusing to answer questions from the media. Like, come on, dude. Like, get tougher.
Just
get tougher.
Not going to cut it in Chicago. Hey, what about golf? What do you make of golf? He's
He's a
had
great play. He's a
Sean
great play.
McVay and Ben
He's
Johnson.
a play action quarterback. If he doesn't have play action to keep the rush off of him, he has a hard time playing. He also still has the yips in certain plays. I love his attitude. That's a NorCal guy. I love it. I love he just keeps coming back at people and coming back. But I always his career will forever be summarized to me by the throw in the Super Bowl that he didn't make, that where I can't remember who the receiver was, but he had him dead down the middle. He should have thrown the pass right away and completed it at the front of the end zone for a key touchdown that would have probably flipped that game around. Instead, he held it for just, that extra third or fourth of a second, and that allowed Jason. He and his brother, Jason McCourty comes over and knocks that pass around away because he delivers it at the back of the end zone, right?
Yeah.
Like that play, that's the Super Bowl right there, pal. Like you got to deliver the ball on time and drill that guy. He's wide open. And that's what McVay saw, and that's why he got rid of him. Because he saw that little tiny, just infinitesimally small lapse where like the ball's got to get out.
It's got to get out. It's got to get out. Hey, Jace, he is from Marin County, same place that Brady's from. So just if you're taking shots,
I said NorCal.
Okay.
I said that SoCal is the land of the the guys who don't quite have it. Although Carson Palmer's probably going to call me at the end of this and rip me. And Elway was a SoCal high school guy, but
yeah,
he was originally from Idaho, so he's a little. He was tougher from those winters up in the Great Northwest.
I got it here. All right. So
hey, look, man, I grew up in Studio City. The person I'm ripping on the most is me. I'm from the Valley, bro. Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm a Valley, and I do what I want. There you go.
Man, I lived over in Santa Clarita, man. I liked it over there, man. We're all good.
Yeah, it's all easy.
I gotta ask you this, man. That shit show going on in Dallas. I mean, hey, it is total. Hey,
they got no other headlines, man. What does anybody care about that team? Like what?
Nothing.
Right? Like no, because they know it's a mediocre football team.
Mediocre.
So yeah, I mean they could make the playoffs. I mean they're they have enough. They have some guys, but it's always like this because this is Jerry's world where Jerry gets off on negotiations, and when the drama and this he's always about the drama. He's always about the sideshow, the soap opera of it. We talk about this every year. There's nothing new here, but it's just BS. It has nothing to do with winning. Like you're really going to make a guy like Micah Parsons, who's he's not the greatest defensive lineman or the greatest edge guy in the league, but he's top 3, top 4. You're really going to make him sweat? You're going to really rip on him? Like, stop it. Pay the guy and stop bitching. Like, take care of your team. That's what you should do.
I got 2 last quick ones, yes or no.
You just said the last one was the last one.
What
are you doing? Okay.
Amy Trask, Hall of Fame or no?
No, I love Amy Trask, but she's not a Hall of Fame.
Virginia McCaskey.
No, not a Hall of Fame.
Whoa. Bob Irsay.
No.
Jim Irsay.
No.
Okay. Robert Kraft.
Yes.
Will you vote this coming year for Belichick
if he's on
the first ballot?
If he's on the ballot, I'll vote for Belichick. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't hold that stupid retard gate controversy against him.
I love you.
Okay.
Hey.
That's the game, man. Like it's so stupid to hold Spygate against him.
How about Belichick the Cowboys? That's going around.
Of course it's going around. It was going around a year ago. He should have hired him then. Come on, Brian Schottenheimer. You think he's going to be able to handle the pressure? I like Brian Schottenheimer. He's a nice guy, but like all the players were looking, going, this dude.
No, I heard the apple.
It's Dave Campo all over again.
I heard the apple was thrown exceptionally far from the tree on this one when it came to the.
Look, let's not, let's not do that to Brian. Brian's a good dude.
Good dude.
He didn't ask to get thrown into this crap. It landed in his lap, and Jerry didn't want to do the Belichick thing. He wasn't ready for it because he'd have to cede too much control. And Jerry's going to have to get desperate. I'm not sure Jerry's ever going to get desperate enough anymore.
It's over. It's over.
Right. Yeah, he's done. All right. I got to roll here,
dude. Brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. I love you very much. Talk to you next week, my friend. That is Jason Cole. Very cool, man. I love talking to Jason, man. Yeah, no. Should have hired him last year. He totally should have hired Bill Belichick last year. If you were going to go out, you should have, get this, you hired, arguably at the time, the greatest college football coach, okay? You hired the best coach, okay? Hired the best coach at the time in Jimmy Johnson, okay? You could go out hiring the greatest coach of all time in Bill Belichick. You could go out that way. Hall of Fame game tonight. I can't wait. Don't forget, guys, Birds 365 is right after the program here. John was out there, day 6 of the Eagles training camp. Make sure you guys check them out. And tomorrow will be a football Friday. And then get this, we're starting to roll towards, what is it? The first game will be, exhibition-wise, will be the Bengals. Guys, have a great one. Enjoy football tonight, Hall of Fame game. I don't care what it looks like. We will see you tomorrow, 2 to 6, and we'll see you on the flip side.